lyrical bombs on the captain. How's everyone doing today? Howdy, 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 howdy. Kansas. We went to Kansas. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, yeah. He went to Kansas. Yeah, Percy. Well, I don't know if he went to Kansas, but let's see. How was your trip, Percy? I think Radicos is out on a trip, too, as well. Chad. How you doing?
Oh,
good.
There we
go. There's the Chad.
Actually got to sleep for once.
Yeah. I had to sleep a little myself. Hold up a second. Chaos will be with us shortly. I need to figure out how these other streamers do their fancy layouts so that people can see who's talking.
It's in the top left of your...
Yeah, this is my bastardized version of it. But I figure with the matches we're playing with comms, it might be useful when they're hearing our voices to see if we're actually queued up.
That's a fair point. It is a little delayed, though, just so you know.
Mm-hmm. Jita's in the chat. I told Jita we got one of his whole control versus test to watch. That was a good match.
When am I not super loud? Oh, when J1tah's taking my voice. That's right.
Hold up, I can fix that.
Stupid app.
I can fix it. I have you turned up really loud in Discord as well. Hold up, I can fix that. I'll put you at 100%.
That probably has to do with, me FCing, but yeah.
Who's J1tah? Oh, the sarcasm from you. Hands up high for the friendship. Everybody, exclamation mark draw for that early bird prize. 50 million, because it's a fresh month and Ghosty's near broke, so I gotta make some more money. Y'all were so generous that Ghosty's almost out of in-game cash. That's what we're gonna do.
Why don't you have a new giveaway up yet?
Huh?
Why don't you have a new channel giveaway up yet?
Shit.
It's 3 days into July and the June one's up.
I'll have that up. I'll have that up by tomorrow.
It's a little hard to dump my channel points, man.
I spent all morning creating clips and videos for YouTube, so that was my 8 hours of work this morning.
I slept till 3 this afternoon. I had to actually catch up on sleep from the lack of sleep I had this weekend.
Mm-hmm. I said, guys, we would have done this last night. I don't know about Chad, but 7 p.m. rolled around after we were doing our debrief after the whole shebang was done, and all the fatigue of the weekend just crashed on me at once. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this tonight. I need sleep.
Mind you, this dude played in 2 matches. I threw together 5 matches. Oh, fucking hell, dude. That one match was a shit show.
Yeah, the one where they... Which one? The one where they banned
Kirk.
our Thalia and...
Yeah, and Kirk had to throw together a ship last minute.
Yeah, and then all but one of his guns were bugged out. We'll get to that, guys. We had some... I can't believe that. We had some problems. Dr. Afsan, you were the winner of the early bird prize. I am not currently logged into the game, so I just need to take your name for now, and once I'm logged into the game, I'll get that to you. HOXX. It's 50 million. Alrighty. Like I said, Chaos said he's coming, but he can't access this channel, so I need to pay attention to make sure.
I'll keep an eye out, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if... Do you have the ability to drag people into this channel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you catch him before I do,
all
please
Discord
do that.
mods. I got it.
Oh, there he is. Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. Is like, I got to pay attention because he can't see the channel we're in.
Hello.
Hello, Chaos. Chaos is going to be joining us while we're doing this today. Hold up. I got to hide things real fast. Where's the Discord? No, that's not it. Change the names of everything. Okay, hold up. Give me a second, guys. I'm working here. Make this a little bit cleaner to look at. There we go. So we got several matches for you guys to watch tonight. We're going to start off with 2 that They were okay, but it's the other two matches of the Galente Gambit, which was the final round, just to get us started while we're waiting for more people to show up. As you can see, the first match, no, this is not the first match we were going to watch. Where is it? This is the first match we were going to watch. Our match versus Snuffed Out in the Galente Gambit. If any Snuffed Out people, this is your chance to flame me. And Chad, get it out of your systems now.
You have a right to flame Chad, you have a right to flame Ghosty.
Yes, you have a right to flame Ghosty. But
Ghosty's 0-1 against y'all, okay? On the team. I am not 0-1 against y'all.
I've never fought them. I didn't get to fight them.
You were on the team when we lost us. You're technically 0-1.
This loss is not my fault. I was not on grid, sir. But anyway. This was part of the... Hold up, I got to turn off the... I had our comms playing. Again, the Galente Gambit was a different format than the rest of the tournament. It was only Galente, like, not just Galente Empire ships, but any ship that required Galente anything. So, like, Vindicators, Barguests, stuff like that. So, as you can see...
bonus to Galente.
Yeah, anything that has a bonus to Galente hulls. So we opted for just rush them down with blasters like men. Snuffed Out had to take the cowardly Ratter way, it looked like. What did that comp of theirs ended up being mostly? It was mostly drones, right?
It was drones, but I will say, just from a little back-end perspective of it, we had a lot to do in the last 2 weeks before our matchups.
Mm-hmm.
We did not practice for the Galente Gambit. Snuffed did practice for the Galente Gambit. I like their idea of bringing Tech 2 resistances to those blaster-style weapons, so...
The weakness of using this... Hold up. Well, with the Galente Gambit, there were no bans allowed, Nio. That's one rule. Because there's so few ships in that pool, you're not allowed to ban anything. There's not even point penalty for stacking, is there?
There is.
Oh, there is a point penalty for stacking? Okay.
There is stacking point penalty. And the other thing was, and this was hilarious, every match starts, by the way, with you getting a conversation by referees, right? And that, usually they'll ask about your bans and your, stuff like that. They still convo you, and they still have to go through and check your whole team, right? Right before this match, I said, everyone in your ship, everyone's ready? All right, cool. I'll tell the referees that we're all good to be checked out. Within a matter of 30 seconds, they said, your comp is illegal, you have 5 cruisers. And I said, go read the rules. Yeah. It seems like nobody can actually read the rules. Like,
CCP's
never mind, you're good.
Referees were... I blame that on them. Just that was the first match, or no, that wasn't even the first match of the Galente Gambit. But anyway, they'd been dealing with regular rules all day, so whoever's job was there was obviously tired.
For not letting anything slip through the feeders. Like, big props to the referees and... Because there are a lot of background issues that, don't get Day of Light. This year it looks like they did an overly proper job. They've had some issues in tournament past, so props to them, honestly.
And J1tah, while that does seem good, I mean, truthfully, we didn't get a whole lot of time to practice a Galente Gambit comp, so I'm not saying we threw this together at the last second, but we were kind of practicing.
We had zero practice for this.
We had zero practice with this comp.
Not even a little. We had zero. So.
But anyway, let's play. I'll let you guys. We'll sit here and talk and just run it. We're not going to be doing a super hard breakdown of this one. This is mostly just for the lulls. But the goal of this particular part of the tournament wasn't necessarily to win against your opponent. It was to score the most points between 2 matches. And congratulations to Snuffed. You beat us by 20 points.
Yeah, now the way I went in, I was like, I don't want to spend 8 hours storing shit together. We only have like 40 minutes. Let's get something quick done. I'm like, you know what? This comp that I'm bringing is either going to kill a bunch of shit and get a lot of points, or it's going to die.
We're going to die like men. One of the two.
We're going to die like men, or we're going to get a bunch of points.
Personally, the second I heard you putting together blaster boats, I was excited.
Hey, it's the Galente Gambit for a reason. Yeah.
It's our bread
and butter.
I love
this MJD play, by the way, by the team.
I would like to note here that we were the only Galente faction group in the Gambit. Well, no, they live in Gal. Wait, Castabouts is Gal Mill?
All of them are in Gal space.
Well, they're in Gal space, but they're not Gal Mill.
Castabouts technically. If you want to get into
I know
technicalities.
I think some people in the chat thought that Snuffed Out were a Gal Mill group. No, they just live in our space. they shoot Gal and Squid alike.
I mean, arguably, here's like, and here's a good instance. Nuke Michaels is not on grid. I'll probably explain that at some point later on. He is an ex-Gal Mill, so
yeah,
like a lot of the people who are involved in this group are ex-Penn and ex-Gal Mill players. So
for all the shit talking I do of Snuffed Out, they actually kind of earned this spot in the out of the feeders. They worked really hard. They dealt with some really hard setbacks. They had, like you said, Nuke. And we're not playing this match tonight, but he's like their team lead, right?
Yeah, him and their Logi pilot.
There was a match where he was in a bar guest and he got disconnected right at the beginning of the match
and lost because of it,
and never got.
Well,
he never even got back.
But
was he even able to get back in?
No, he wasn't able to get back in the match. I think he rage quit almost, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was a rage quit or if it was just horrible connection and being frustrated over the piss poor connection. But he put a comment out to Zealous in the captain's chat saying, "From now on, all messages from referees need to be directed towards my co-captain. I will not be partaking for the rest of the day."
This is not the Galente shit show, sir.
Not yet. That's later on. You'll see the shit show later.
Our match was not a shit show. Our match was a glorious finale to a wonderful weekend.
I gotta say, like the whole goal, we got on grid and I'm like, God, we have to kill that Oneros because of all these T2 resists. Like they'll just rep through us, kill us, and we'll not get a lot of points. So I was like, you know what?
We were throwing all four flavors of damage at it, trying to get around those resists. Like we had EM drones, explosive drones, we had our blasters. We were like, we have to kill this Oneros.
And what was really funny was we decided, you know what? The best way we're going to catch us on Oneros is everybody align to this jump beacon, activate the jump beacon that we're on because we were 0, and let's see what happens. And we caught him, let's just say I heard webs in a matter of 25 seconds. So I can't
we caught him really fast. It's just he did not want to die.
I think it was a matter of everybody else just getting there.
I think that's the the game. Don't die.
Yeah.
Don't die.
See, the goal of the game is to have one more HP left than your opponent.
Exactly.
Or in the sense, or how Mark Resurrected says it, because he says it perfectly. Your ship will die if you reach 0 hull hit points. So you never want to go to 0 hull hit points.
Exactly. Yeah.
You like that background, Kipple? I will make sure to pass that message along to Zealous. He's the one who built the system entirely. This is a built system by him, basically.
Man, I need to find the AT-XIX video they have with the Winter Stays On. I couldn't find that to run for the pre-stream. Do they have that up on YouTube where we can actually use that? Or is that something they hold close to the vest?
It's in their Twitch, so...
I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna have to go and clip that.
You're gonna have to go clip it or something. Yeah, I'll find a timestamp or something. But at this point in the match, it's kind of funny. I think the commentators were calling out that I burnt my guns.
No.
I burnt my prop.
Chad was not burnt out. He was. I'll let you say it.
I love it because they're like right here. I'm burning in on shit, and I think they called out did Chad burn his prop? I think it's a little bit later now, actually. I caught the comment.
I think it's right about here, because we're sitting there trying to kill that Hecate, scrape up as many points as we can, and you just needed to slow down long enough to track.
No, I love it. Even though I burnt guns, I was just so far away from shit.
I remember them saying that you either burnt out your prop mod or you ran out of cap. That was what I remember J1tah screaming.
People said in the chat, they said I burnt my guns.
Yeah.
The commentators said I burnt my prop right here.
No, he was just valuing his tracking.
It was a little later in here. I turn around there like Ghosty's like, Chad, did you burn your prop? And I'm like, no, I'm valuing my tracking actually. I'm loading null and I'm just gonna one shot this Hecate. Like that's what it was gonna come down to. I think I killed the comet first. No, it was right here. I think it was
Best
like
skin in
literally
the
right
AT,
here.
by the way.
I was like, I'm stopping my ship right now so I can kill this Hecate. Bam, dies. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go catch shit again. I'm gonna go catch shit again.
And at this point, at some point, they were saying they just need to kill a Hecate or a comet. And that's what I was screaming in comms. And in hindsight, maybe we should have tried to get an Ishtar here. I don't know. Shoulda, coulda,
The
woulda.
issue is, like, I physically have to kill an ES before I die.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, like, at this point I realize, like, we didn't have the cruisers left to, like, go top down after that Oneros. So I was just trying to clean up the bottom and hope to tank. But, like, everything else just took so long to kill because all of our, like, the exec insta died and all our low end just died.
Oh, Mike also had the unfortunate MJD and boundaried himself. Now that I remember. So we were down our rail exec navy that was providing range. Oh, was he blasters? I thought he was rails.
Every single one of us was blasters. Yeah.
T1 Logi. Again, we had to throw that together. That Obscure that Spoons is flying is something I scraped up at the last second from AT-18. Was a really good fit, actually. I think he enjoyed it.
Look at me try to MJD a way to live. But it wouldn't have been to live, it'd have been to, like...
Again, this was definitely not our A game here. We didn't have much practice with it, but we had fun nonetheless.
Well, what I knew at this point, too, is Elikon can just tank grid. Like, I knew physically he could tank grid. And I'm like, if you can kill the Comet and maybe one other ship, we might be okay to be close, but it won't be... Like, it'd be down to, like, 4 points or not if we were going to be able to be still in it after match 2. Or coming into the match, our second match.
You wonder if Snuffed Out had this comp planned out, or if this is something they had to...
They did.
Okay.
They practiced it all week.
So they were ready for Glinta Gambit.
They were. That's why I was saying, like, this was 100%, like, if they bring blaster boats, Tech 2 resists, counter blasters for the Galente hulls. That's why they brought it. We had to throw something together because I was told we don't have to worry about it, and I was also told, not told, but like I was physically unable to put the comp I wanted to on grid because just the last week of practice was not how I wanted it to be. You know what I mean? People weren't showing up when they needed to, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the things we struggled with. But we'll expand our roster for next year. That way we got some more alternates and more people to practice with on the regular.
Vessen's tournament team is recruiting.
Mm-hmm. We're recruiting. All right.
Sign in my DMs.
I think we can go ahead and then we'll just quickly skim through this. Castabouts tried triple Barguest, which on paper should have worked, but one of their Barguest pilots kind of misplayed a bit here and got caught, and then at that point they were down to a single Barguest, so they just didn't have the DPS. Again, credit to stuff. I wonder if Castabouts had to throw this together. Why was he just eating popcorn all of a sudden? I know that
was everyone going wild in the back channels about setting that up. It was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was not planned, but
will there be punch and pie, Chad? Munja is asking. Where was there a part where...
It just came up in the chat for me.
Kipla, out of respect to the individual who only had 5 pilots, I am not showing that one today. We're not talking about that one. I don't want to shit talk a person that did their best, you know.
It was 2 people, by the way.
Yeah,
it was confirmed. It was 2 people.
It was literally only 2 people between those 5 ships. So there's no rules against it. I wonder if CCP is going to revisit that in the future, though.
I will say, you know, without trying to attack anybody, a few things were said in local chat by commentators. that were a little upset by the fact that they didn't even bring 100 points. You know, they physically gave out 32 points, a third of the points you can have just washed. Like, it was very... And like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect them.
At least they didn't quit, you know? There are other teams that had full membership and quit.
This is a product that they've done multiple times now. This is, I think, 6 matches in a row throughout the last 2 or 3 ATs that they've done that. You know,
where they don't bring everything and they only just...
The max players they've only had is 7. And, like, I do understand, like, if you're going to come to Grid, you could almost consider that throwing in collusion to not bring 100 points. I can understand if you bring like 99 or 98 because you like something better, you know? But when you're physically throwing away a third of your points and only half the people are showing up on Grid, that does seem like a throw, you know? So I can understand that being... They refunded... the second point I was going to make, they refunded Twitch points because of that match.
Like, unprecedented. They never do that. They didn't do that the first weekend when the team showed up undermanned. This one, they finally is like, yeah, we're going to give you back your points.
And here's my thing. Like, I'm pretty sure it was Goons. I don't know if this was during Opens or actual whatever. A few years ago, brought 6 and won. And then brought 7 and won. Underman has never really been a winning thing. It's only ever won like 3 times. And so, but bring your 100 points at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's called being competitive. It is a rule. But I mean, like, hey, if you enjoy doing it, do it. But like, maybe just get more members, man. Ask random people. You might not put the best team out there, but it's going to be a lot less of a headache for you. You know, like, it's going to be better product for everybody.
I would recommend anybody who's serious about getting into PvP look into getting into the AT, because there are so many lessons to be learned there, in particular learning about E-War and just spatial management of your ships and stuff like that you don't really pick up when you're just out and about, especially if you're in a big, huge fleet pressing F1 on whatever you're told to. You learn a lot of stuff out of AT, so if it's something I definitely recommend everybody try it, even if you're just like me. You know, I didn't really get to start this year. I was mostly just there for scrims and backup, but I still had a blast and learned a lot, you know. It doesn't hurt the team, you know. The more people you have on your team, the easier it is to pull scrimmages together. Even you might even have so many points where you can scrimmage internally. So
here's another interesting thing. When you're doing AT, you're learning little tips, tricks, and secrets about certain ships that you're flying. You're becoming a master at something, or at least attempting to become a master at something you're doing. You know.
Oh, hey, and Thunderdome access. Getting Thunderdome access, where you have literally every skill in the game unlocked. Have you ever wanted to play any ship that you could think of? Join an AT team. You'll get on the server that allows you to do that.
You just got to follow the rules. I'm gonna
you can't just sit there and play out all you want, but you get to play with tech that you may not even get to touch for years. You know, short of capitals, you can't play with capitals. But like,
I will say one thing too. Working in AT, right? As a captain, how many times I've had to be like, "Here's a ship," and they say, "I've never flown this before," and then they say, "I really like that ship." It opens your eyes to a different style of play sometimes, or a different ship, or something you've not done. Like, there's certain people where I gave them ships, and it's now their favorite ship. That was like me with the Balgorn, per se. I liked the ship before last year's AT. I flew it like once or twice last year, and now it's like my favorite ships. Like, Balgorn is my favorite Eve ship.
Mm-hmm. The scariest thing you'll ever fucking see other than the curse.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm saying putting the bar quite low there.
Yeah, this is where this. Okay, if you look, like, Ellie Stan got caught. If he hadn't have got caught and they were able to keep the 2 bar guests alive, I think that they may have pushed Snuff to the point where we could have cinched it there. But we all kind of died inside when he got caught.
He would have died eventually, I think, right? Because being a drone comp, you can only outrun the drones so much. You can outrun them a little bit.
I mean,
but
if you look at this point,
it would have bought more
Castabouts had
time. It would have bought more time.
Yeah, it would bought a lot more time. They only had 4 minutes left to go. If they had kept both the bar guests alive and everything else died, Snuffed would have only had 50 points, and we would have, if everything else went the same way, we would have either been, I have to do the math in my head, but I'm pretty sure we would have at least been close to tied with them, if not beaten them.
You know, Jada, I think, like, shooting the Oneirus, it's interesting, like, Bargs, yeah, they probably should have shot the Oneirus, maybe when they, like, that first Barg was dying, an Oneirus kill would have been crucial. 2 Bargs on grid, gonna be hard to do, but doable. Like, once you're down to that 1 Barg, you're not killing the Oneirus, and you're not gonna be able to kill anything else with the Oneirus. You kind of have to notice, like, our damage, especially with Rapids, is gonna be enough to kill through an Oneirus. 3 Bargs, yes. But a second you lose a Barg, now you're questioning it all over again. It's usually T1 Logi, you want to nuke it for sure. T2. Against T2 and T3 ships, I agree with you. Against like a T1 ship, you can manage some of those ships. Like a good instance of that is if you're up against a T1 shield comp with a T2 Logi, I'd rather just blow through the shield of T1 ships, some of them. Like an exec. Shield execs, free kill. But yeah, basically this match just stalls out at this point. They kill a few of the low-end ships on Castabouts.
Sorry, I got a little choked up there. I mean, if you're relying on killing as many targets as possible with a single clip, you need to kill the reps first. Yes, I agree, J1tah. And
like I said, I agree
must
to
have killed
a
the
degree.
Oneirus.
I agree to a degree. I mean, if they're bringing Shield Rush and you're kiting around, you might have to choose not to kill a Scimitar. You might have to choose to kill a Tackle Orthrus or something so you don't get held. Because you can clip through that.
Bounce
Even
the
with
damage
Logi.
fast enough that the Logi can't keep up. You talking about switching targets over and over again, or just pumping into a single target as much as you can, as hard as you can? Okay, I gave 2 options and he says yes. Which option? Clarifying statement, clarifying words and verbs, please.
Yeah, just both.
Just both. Switching targets. Well, the problem is you're on a clip, so switching targets on a rapid heavy clip is,
You
I think,
have
ill-advised.
25 shots in your rapid heavies, right? It takes about a minute to shoot that.
Mhm.
And then you can't shoot for 40 seconds.
Exactly.
You're sitting there, you're
36.
physically unable to shoot for 40 to 45 seconds.
It's like burst. It's the difference between burst and sustained DPS. Like,
That's what it is. You want to pick a target with your clips, and usually you have to have multiple people to do this in the tournament setting, right?
and it works a lot better when you have other ships at your disposal, not just carries. You also need a hyena or something to web them down so that you're hitting them. Like when you're in
you're
a,
better off using a hyena and
Yeah.
or tackle or some sort of just tackle so they're stuck there.
Mhm.
You need to basically pick a target, make sure you can shoot him, make sure you guys can continuously shoot him, and apply as much of your clip as you can to that guy to kill him. Don't overshoot and kill him.
All right, J1tah, are you ready? Here's your match. This was one of my favorites so far of the entire tournament. Test Alliance, Please Ignore versus Whole Control. Oh my lord, this was a good match. Now we're done with the Garbo matches from the Gambit, you know. Okay, Chad, you want to break this down? What do you see on grid?
So, let me actually make this a little bit bigger for myself. There we go. It's an interesting setup to look at, right? Because I see both teams and I'm like looking at it and I'm like, there's ships on grid that I feel like I don't see often, which I like to see. Hyperion should. I like the ship, but you very rarely see it.
Hyperion
in this
respect.
setting.
Always respect the Hyperion.
I respect it, but just like in this setting, I don't know, man. Just seems a little wonky of an option. Like when you could go with a Dummy Navy and get the same rep power and just do an Exec Navy instead of an AUG Navy. But hey, they like lasers, I guess.
I was about
with
to
a
say
Hyperion.
it wouldn't have been a sub for a ban, but I'm not seeing any battleships in the ban, so yeah.
There's no ban. It was planned out like this. Hey,
J1tah, while you're here, can you explain the Scimitar Loki ban? Or are you allowed to?
They just don't want shield.
You just don't want shields?
Rush. No shield rush, no shield. They just want no shield rush, shield kite setups if they can help it.
Fuck J1tah, if you want to...
It's pretty safe, straightforward. Without them getting too into it, because, like, respect for their team. Like, I think it's just a straight, like, you don't want shields.
They ban semi-Loki every set. But we expected to play against this comp. Okay.
Nice. And then, like I said, you get the double Geddons. I believe those are gun Geddons plus a Hyperion AUG Navy. Just kinda.
Actually, J1tah, do you
max tank?
J1tah, you have my Discord, don't you? Do you want to come in comms for this one? Since you're on grid, I'd be glad to have you. Just hop into one of the voice lounges and I'll drag you into where we are real fast. Well, let's get him in comms. I'd love to hear his thoughts.
Yeah. The test comp, though, while he's getting dragged around, just looks like an HP heavy comp. They want to have a good amount of HP, fair amount of damage.
There's J1tah. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Hello.
Crap, hold up.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Like I said, this was one of my favorite matches of the whole weekend. Just telling Chad, we have to cover this one.
Simi and Loki is because they're red.
It's because they're red. Ban red ships. Hey, Mimitar Rush is a thing.
No, dude, with how Radicus used it against NFT, he put some respect on that.
So we see you guys starting to pull back a little bit.
You guys win the projection more here, obviously. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Easily. Those damps are a pain in your ass, but like
they're not on the right targets.
If they commit to you, like those damps don't even matter. So.
Yeah, I really don't think, because why are you damping the Guardian? The Guardian's right on top of everybody he needs to heal.
Those damps won't affect those battleships. Probably worth a shit. So. You'd have to go like all in damps on a battleship to even.
Maybe those were literally the only good targets for damps.
Yeah,
ENIs are probably
at the start, actually, in the second pattern. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go for him.
Nio is asking why you went with a Vedmak over a Vigilant.
Projection.
Projection?
That's better
Vedmak
projection.
is cooler ship. It's Triglavian.
It's Triglavian.
It's Triglavian. Nio, you should respect that. I see you flying Vedmaks all the time. You should love this pick.
Trigs go burr.
Trigs go burr. I wish the Leshek had had a better showing so far. Nobody has.
Hey, we made it work.
We made it work, but nobody else really did.
Yeah, I pushed forward a bit in the start, and then they started shooting me, so just kind of pulled.
And then right here, they're on your Nurgle with a passion.
Yeah, Nurgle.
Where is he?
Positioning wasn't horrible, just got rammed by an AUG. Which is kind of weird, like that AUG just diving.
Yeah, but then the Nurgle's doing his job and stopping and screening him. That's why he's
screened him, yeah. Just
got all those drones on him now, though.
The AUG got out of... He pushed a little too hard, you'd think. Like, especially with, you know, Logi frigates. Like, you're risking them having to get in the thick of it now. I mean, AUG's not getting shot, so... But, like, you have to at least to be like, oh, he's over there, I have to be able to. Just the mentality sake of it.
Well, it kind of looks like you guys almost have them enveloped at this point. It may just be from the perspective of the camera, but...
Yeah, at this point we had the XX in the back line, basically.
Mm-hmm. Like, you had them where you wanted to.
You guys went right around.
The first mistake happened, and the Vedmak got caught. Without needing to. Which was kind of bad.
Oh yeah, he's right next to the two.
At least you guys are
he's
getting
right
rid of
next
that
to Hyperion.
Because like
but
Hyena,
that also,
you guys are...
they set the Nurgle free, I think, because they caught the Vedmak.
It was
But, like-
interesting because I saw. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said it was interesting because like the amount of trig ships. I saw another comp that came out that was not necessarily like yours, but it had like the trig run through of like Nurgle, Vedmak, and Drekavik. And like that didn't work because of the Drekavik. This is kind of like you brought the Vedmak, and it didn't show much, you know. And
Yeah,
it
we
sucks
actually
because like
played
it didn't
the,
get to show in this match.
It was a
The
good
other
trade.
comp that brought the Draclavian stuff, that was our finals, and we played
Yeah.
that comp. Played against it. So
And
yeah, this is where the Guardian gets caught, and that's when it becomes interesting.
Yeah,
Still-
we were in
Unnecessarily
council
so,
watching.
yeah.
Though.
4 minutes into this match, and you still don't know which way it's going to go. It's still anybody's
You're
game right here. A good call on
As soon
y'all
as the
though to
logic
go.
called he's caught, we
Mhm.
like knew we had to go for the trade, and like we need to kill 3 ships before they kill Logi, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it was a good
Like that
trade.
was really scary, losing the Logi.
And I like the trade. You lost the Vedmak, but you went ahead and grabbed that Magus and took, because that's a Lynx ship, right?
Yeah.
So get their Lynx off the grid.
The trade, the
trade-
Logi trade thing, you know, that's something like
You
I
lose
think a
on
lot of
points,
those
but they're
teams
down
have-
2 pilots.
who cares about losing on points? The whole goal is like
Yeah.
if you have reps and they don't, that's like one of the biggest advantages you can have in a match. And I feel like a lot of those teams that are very like zero experience don't understand how important those Logi trade moments really are.
Yeah,
That
but this
hype
is
was
big
that
trade.
hype fit piss poor? Holy shit, he's dying.
No, he just neutered out, so his reactive was reset. His tank was pretty much off at that point, because the Mauler was on it for like 5 minutes. So we knew we had to kill the hype before the first attack.
You lost an ABBA. Yeah, he'd have just tanked grid. They're splitting damage on ENI plus ABBA. It seems a little.
I mean, the Orc Navy was soloing Ives, which is the
Yeah,
first
way
thing
on the
that
other
happened.
side.
He should not have been caught.
No. But I do think like you getting that head start on that Ged Navy and trading, like you're not even trading officially at this point yet. He's gonna be what, half armor probably before you lose one of those ships.
Yes. Because the Abaddons had fully spooled
Yeah.
a reactive,
take
and I think
the-
at least one of
Newt
them was
Maulers
a
were
reload.
really strong this tournament, I feel, Nio.
They're strong. They've been strong for years, man.
Mhm.
Years.
This was
I
kind of
feel- I will-
stressful for me, because I was watching the Nog like constantly, and I'm within antimatter range, right? So as soon as he bounces for me, I need to run.
Yeah. It's hilarious how you took a hype and like got to get a Navy into structure just for an ABBA, and they haven't even officially killed the exec. He will probably die. Like you're trading an ABBA for a hype, even. Actually, technically that's better for you because hype better the longer it's on grid for rep power at least. You'd obviously make that different. Then you're trading an ENI for a, you know, Navy Geddon. Like that is, you can't complain. You guys caught up easily in points there.
That's when the first drop of gap boosters happens. Table dropped a full can for the Abaddon. And then they actually dropped some gap boosters for the Navy Armageddon, and I think Jay stole them.
What?
The amount of cap those two
Yeah.
ships take is just
Oh, the
unreal.
Navy's coming for me.
Look at those drones just attacking that Ponty off on the side. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, they had all like pretty much all the drones on me, so I just pulled away. Kinda had to
Yeah,
reset my
make
mental
the
stack.
drones play chase. Waste their time. Waste their time. What's funny is you're still looking at this matchup, and it's like the one thing you guys have above them is an extra set of links and a mauler. It's not like a huge advantage. Other
but
than
we
like
got
your
the access.
HP bars, obviously, are quite different. I think the mauler takes up the fair point, a good amount of that, obviously, but
Yeah, we also have the damage advantage, because Abaddons
Yeah.
do a fuckload of DPS.
yeah.
And the exec is what, 700-800 in antimatter, which I'm not
Right-
utilizing because I'm sitting
right
in
there,
big-
Ghosty, right there. That's perfect.
At this point, I'm just kind of looking at the grid and I'm like, I think we win this.
I would be looking at the grid right now and I'm like, I think they have it because the fact of, like, that battleship's in hull. You know, the only way you lose is if, like, cap out entirely and damage fall off. But, like, the ENI is enough to push that over. Like, sack yourself to push if it came to that, but it wouldn't have.
I think I lingered in the beacon way too long. But I kind of had to reset my mental stack.
If you're
And
winning,
that
like the way I look at it is, if you're gonna like win at that point in the match, it's just like you need to survive, or you need to just hard on push to make sure you win by points. You know, there's
Mhm.
no in between. You know, and if you're choosing the survive option, then that's just what it is. Like that's how it has to be, and it works obviously here because of that advantage you guys had in damage from
I actually
the.
don't know what the Orc Navy was doing that. Like, he wasn't in high damage ammo range.
Fair
Like,
point.
that could have actually made a difference there. Like, the fact that he wasn't on the Abaddon, that was one of the reasons why I didn't jump.
Yeah,
Like I
that
said,
does
man,
seem a little weird.
y'all played a hell
You
of a
just gotta
match.
chill
This was one of my favorites, if not the favorite, other than maybe the final brawl. That final brawl was glorious. It was hard to compare to that one. But
My favorite thing was like J1tah said. I was like, I asked them in local, wait, am I allowed to hop on and commentate the match while being in it? And he said, whenever you type in local, I will tell everybody. And I was like, that's fucking amazing.
Nice.
Like halfway through the fight, I just started typing in local. By the way, like I totally forgot you win skins if you win that match. I totally forgot about that.
I didn't catch it, but did they take our suggestions for banning the Marshal, an Apostle, and some
We put it in. Did they actually put that up?
I don't.
Screen
I got to
or
go back
anything?
and check. Because they did it for the wormholers. Anytime there was a wormholer on grid, they put the wormhole right there.
No, the wormhole is there permanently.
Oh, is there permanently? I
It's
thought
there
that was.
permanently.
I thought that was the
Couple different arenas.
joke. Never mind. See, this is
That
my
was
first
there for
AT.
Captain's Cup.
Well, Gita, while we got here, I had your match against Castabouts. Did you want to watch that? We're actually ahead on time for now.
Yeah, sure.
Throw that one in. Screw it. Throw that one in.
I think we just win that because of comp difference.
Yeah, this one was a bit of a landslide, unfortunately. That was why we didn't include it. But still, I mean, a win is a win, right?
100-0 win.
Show us how it's done. Teach us, senpai.
Yeah, but we got a close warp in. They have a spooling comp and we have heavy newts. So
By the way, now that you're in comms, actually, you weren't here last week for one of the matches we just quickly looked over. Dude, people typed in the Twitch chat, I don't know if your team ever noticed it, saying they had to go to YouTube to look up how to use a micro jump beacon. I don't know if you saw that comment or not, or if anyone on your team did, but everyone was like laughing their
That's
ass
funny,
off
yeah.
at that comment.
Oh, you can bet we were as well.
The game where your entire team jumped on the Underman team because, you know, lulz.
I mean, there is a reason why we did it.
I thought it was pretty funny, just in like the sense of somebody saying like that, because it's kind of, imagine having the time in a match, like that's not disrespect, obviously, but like, you know, like you have all that time, the other team's not winning.
Yeah, the thing is, we had a long burn-in. That's the farthest starting point, right? And they have a Hugin, which we didn't know how many webs it has. So there was a possibility of a triple web Hugin and 2 battleships behind it, so they could actually web our battle cruisers and kill the cruisers before we get into DPS range, and then just kite us. And we did not want to lose to a 6-man team, so we actually took the team seriously and did a beacon thing.
No, this is why this was a good match in my opinion. I love this. Like I said, the icky Drek thing kind of threw me. Like I said that in comms to my guys. I was like, I saw that and I instantly said Castabouts is going to lose. I just instantly said that. I was like, you know, icky Drek combo has had a. I don't think it has won a game in It's been brought like 4 times in the last 3 ATs, and it's never won. Just because it's like Icky is not that good in a tournament setting.
Mm-hmm.
I think they expected us to bring the Hamrush. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Going with the T2 resist hulls and hoping that they can.
I don't know. They've got 3 TDs. Were they really expecting missiles?
Because that comp can like absolutely annihilate the cruisers in a shield rush.
They do have I mean, Ghost. They probably have it split even TDs because they have a Cruci and a Curse. So 2 out of each on the Curse and 1 of each on the
Crucifier.
Cruci.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
See, this is where my ship knowledge. I don't know the Crucifier is a damper or a disruptor.
I actually
You
had
guys
to burn one of my mids to hold the webs on the Guardian until we killed the whatever.
I gotta say, like
Guardian
I saw you
Now
in a
says that
Balgorn.
Sifil forgot to put it in defensive mode. You think?
That was an 800 plate Guardian, by the way. So it just exploded.
Dead Guardian.
Dead Guard. You know, I said this in the back comms with Ghosty and a few people. Like, you flying the Balgorn hyped me up. Like I said, Balgorn's my favorite ship to fly by far. It's such a fun thing to fly in tournaments too. You feel like you can catch anything and you're in a battleship, and then you just permanently ruin its day. It's great.
Honestly, if you're asking me, it's probably the best battleship in the format. Just for the utility.
There's a reason it's banned from being. There's a reason it's banned from being flagship. I'll tell you that much.
But so
you know. Now I was talking to one of the guys who used to play in those days. I did not play back when it was allowed like full capacity. Like there used to be restrictions on webs and newts to try and limit it, and then they just canceled it. I'm talking full capacity bells. You used to be able to web past like 65 and newt out to 60. Like you could just sit in the center of the arena and control over half the you can control half the arena. I understand why it's illegal, but like now Barghists have taken that meta to a new level.
Tobias Webb on a ball with links. Nio says that sounds
65.
Ridiculous.
It's like 65 kilometers.
Yeah. Don't need a battle or don't need a flagship. That one. It's fine on its own.
Like, people who were on grid before me, because I was in a ball and I warped lost, I believe, were like calling out what's on grid, and I'm like, oh, I think we win this. And like then I'm landing in the ball, and I could just imagine them going, oh no.
Yeah, that now you mention that comment. What was y'all's thoughts when you saw the Macarial on grid? By the way, like, you guys had the Macarial, right?
No.
That was the guys before you.
We saw Macarial, yeah.
No, it was the team before you. When you got the Underman team brought a Macarial their first match, I guess it was their first match.
Did they?
They brought
They brought a bunch of
a
Nighthawks.
nightmare for you guys.
Yeah, Nightmare and Barghist.
I was like, what the hell? Why did they bring a Mac? I was like, wait, what? I can't imagine the comms. You know what I mean? Of the team
I mean,
that
it has
worked
a
into that.
damage and a tracking bonus. At this point, I actually wanted to kill Ives. You can see my newts on him.
What team killing?
Because he said mean things to me before the match.
You should have killed your Magus pilot for how much he pissed off CCP earlier in the season.
What he did?
Today's the day. Today's the day.
Oh right, yeah.
You don't know. He got a warning in the Discord. Today's the day.
I mean, it's stable. He does that.
Your co-captains, right?
Yeah, the team is pretty much run by Jace is the captain, J1tah is the co-captain, and me and Devil are pretty much.
Are you ending with all our matches, Ghosty?
Yes. They were the best. They were arguably some of the best. They were the closest matches. I didn't mean it to be that way, but they were the ones where it was really nail-bitery. Well, maybe not the second to last one. That was the one where we had. I wanted to showcase really good execution on our part, and that was why I included the 7th, now 8th one that we'll watch. But this one, Laserhawks versus I Could Do Better, was another really, really good match. It was really hard to tell which way that was going to go.
I think I Could Do Better should have won this, like, by a long shot. All they have to do is nude out the Lokis and they win.
Mm-hmm.
That's another interesting like note here is like if your eye could do better, I think you expect Laserhawks to bring this with the band you put forward.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have some sense of the tournament knowledge, you expect to see this. You know? Like
What I
How would
don't
they all fit? Were
understand
those
is the
all-
double deacon. It's weird.
Double D. That's what we said in comms. I was like, if you just use Deacon Talia and got those 2 more points, like I did say like the Maulus is the one thing you'd
But
upgrade
Maulus
to,
could be a carries.
which is a sizable upgrade.
Yes, it is. Or it could be Vengeance.
Yeah, like there's a lot of things you could have done a little differently. Like we did double Deacon last year, but the HP I think like on the Deacon is way better than the Talia. But to add those extra points, just
And
for
Talia
the
gets
sake
mid.
of that little bit of HP, anyways, and usually if you're primaried like hard and Logifric, you don't live. So
I mean, Talia gets the extra mid.
yeah, it was weird because I feel like
And like,
it's hit or miss with that extra
the
mid.
only reason you would bring double deacons in this is, like, not in this. If you were to bring a double, I think you would be bringing double Talias. Because you have
Just
more
for the mid.
Valente ships. No, because
Yeah.
Rams.
Yeah. It seems interesting. I noticed like other teams, like you look at the other team too, went with a T1 plus a T2. You know, only bringing the 6 points in Logifrig versus 12, like half the points entirely.
Yep.
You lose a little rep power, obviously, but like
No, you lose
in
rank.
comparison. But in comparison, for like 6 points less, it's not like a massive loss.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, but the biggest thing about Tech 1 Logifrics is that they have no tank whatsoever.
And no sig ability worth the shit compared to. Yeah.
I still don't understand how I could do better lost this because they had like the perfect start. All they have to do is nude out the Lokis. And the Lokis usually don't have a cap booster.
I got Spitball going in for screening.
Yeah, we see newts on the Stabber fleet. That was not the
It's
right
weird
target.
because he went in for screening and he just overshot everything off the gate.
Now he got the Nighthawk, and like that Nighthawk is outside of
He did
Right,
overshoot him like a little bit though.
Yeah.
Like he had to bounce back. But
like
that's a good start
perfect
still.
start. This is perfect.
Yeah, and you got the
Just,
Stabber
Nighthawk
got a
is
late
out of,
start. The Stabber got a late start. That's like he stayed back. You would think to help the Nighthawk, right? Like he's back there anyways. You probably should try to clear that Spitball off that Nighthawk so that Nighthawk can get in. You need your entire rush team on what you're shooting.
I mean, the Stabber is empty. It definitely doesn't have a cap booster, and
Yeah.
it has like had maybe 2-3 cycles of heavy newts at this point.
You'd still
Like,
think
these
like at
nukes
least just
should be
help in
spread
some
out.
manner.
Because this is like 6 heavy newts.
That Gideon gets chunked. You kill a Scythe, you gotta kill a Stabber.
Yeah, but you traded Fleet Sight and a Stabber for a power trade.
Yeah, it's not worth still. But at least you have the Nighthawk split off, right? So he's effectively not involved.
How did that Armageddon get chunked so fast? Is Nighthawks
Dude,
just that
their
powerful?
attack
Right.
bar is just it's infinity and beyond. Like, look how much damage they're doing right now.
God,
like,
yeah.
you never see it get that high unless it's a mass rush.
Yeah, I think
Ham
this
Hawks
should have
are
been an easy
crazy.
win. Just loot out the Lokis, grab one of the Nighthawks outside of its range, and then kill the other Nighthawk, because you have the EM damage.
Yeah. Like, right now they're just focusing, like, you got a whole bow. You had to get a Navy, yeah, it didn't last very long. You can newt out the Hardeners with one of those newts in an Oz and just start pre-newting out, like, at least one of the Lokis or something, and then swap over, newting them out fully once you get, like, the Nighthawk that's in the thick of it. Like I said, you just ignore, like, they're doing a good job ignoring Carl, who's, like, sitting way out of the fight. So, you just got, you know, like I said, newt they're doing it now. They switched to one newt to the other Loki. But they just aren't killing this Nighthawk.
Like, most of the shield stuff doesn't have a cap booster, so you can just cycle your newts twice on it.
And
it's
Hardener
okay.
gone. Hardener
Yeah.
gone, Webb's gone.
And it cannot drop, so you can just run away from the Nighthawks.
I think that's hella risky. Like, the Lokis I have fit do have a cap booster, because that is a ship that needs, you know what I mean? It does need it if you get any pressure. But like you said, most teams don't bother. Either don't live long enough, or you are shooting anyways and hoping.
Could do better. Should have put their drones on that burst.
Yeah,
Probably could have just one-shot that burst.
Yeah.
I mean, light drones kill Tech 1 Logi drones, Fricks.
I mean, like, you got enough with the Magus Pontine Vexor, just say drones go do this one thing quickly, and then they could throw it on the Scalpel, because the Scalpel will just have... He'll have to try and burn for his life, or just accept defeat.
Like,
Probably
at this
just-
point, they still might have it, I feel like. Because the other Nighthawk is only now burning in. But
1 second, Zebra. I'll talk to you in a
Loki,
second.
I believe. And not the Nighthawk. And Loki has, like, crazy EM resist. They only have EM damage.
Here's
I would
the
say this-
interesting, like, just thing I know. It's still winnable. It's an uphill battle, but that Mollis is legitimately a waste of 3 points in this kind of fight.
Mhm.
Using that Deacon Talia setup and getting those 2 points, and maybe if you included a Nurgle, that could have been that one tackle ship that got another piece split off, or the Vexor maybe got another piece split.
What?
Like,
Could you fit in a Newt Mauler, maybe, if with those extra
yeah,
points?
you could have, but you would have had 1 point remaining. You could have made the ABBA into a Galente hull. I understand why they didn't. I kind of like what they did with the high end. But you go in with 99, and I understand my teams would want to not do that.
Another thing I think that happened was one of the Deacons went to save the Sweeple that was tackling one of the Nighthawks.
Yeah.
And then got caught and killed. And the other Deacon didn't. The other Deacon was
They
saving the,
got
bullshit.
two have to save everybody mode versus
And then they split and couldn't rep each other, because the first Deacon died without getting a single rep cycle.
the Vexor going in. Like, that's things. Fitball is gonna die. Send the Vexor in, hold that Nighthawk back, get a Loki down. Then you're going, Battleship versus Loki Nighthawk. You're not in a horrible, and you still have your Logi. That would mean you're not in a horrible position. Like that call at Sumson in your Twitch chat, guys, that burst probably should have been targeted with drones a lot earlier.
Yeah, just put some light drones on it and forget about it. It'll take care of itself.
One thing I'm kind of shocked is like that's got to be a rocket J1tah, because if it's not, you'd think it'd do a lot more, like fucking with some of that low end. Like Radicos brought light missile DAWs, and those things are lethal.
Just so they could have a bit of projection for the light.
Oh, even if you're not killing stuff, if they're just 2 of them together tagging Logifrigs, let's say, you have to focus reps on one of those Logifrigs.
Exactly.
Pulling reps off the main target.
You don't even have to kill them. You just got to keep them so busy keeping each other alive that they can't focus on their team.
I mean, Rocket J1tah is really good in this matchup because they have the double Logifrig and you have a Sweeple J1tah, which can absolutely annihilate a Logifrig.
Yeah. If you're tag teaming properly, yeah. And that plus, like, the thing with Shield Rush too, a lot of people run drones a lot of different ways, whether that's ECM meta. Some teams really enjoy that meta, rep bots or just damage bots. And those don't make a huge difference. But if you were to throw all your damage bots plus those 2 ships on any Logi, that's alone is going to put some hella pressure up, if not kill,
I was
depending on
actually
what it is.
heartbroken because of this loss, because I had my points on I could do better. And at the start, it looked like they had the better comp. It looked like they had the match. And then they kind of threw, in my opinion. I might be wrong. I'm only a C-tier team, so...
Well, if you think about it, they started off throwing newts on the Stabber fleet. They should have been on the Lokis, because the Lokis had the more important E-Ward that needed to be shut off their webs. Then they switched to the Nighthawks. Was there any point at all in neuting the Nighthawks, considering their damage is missiles and doesn't get the hardeners?
Yep.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Like, Nighthawks resists are so high anyways, minus the EM hole, which you're shooting into EM thermal with your lasers. Like, the neuting Neuting Carl seems a little stupid.
Bunja, I'll let when we get to those matches, I'll let Chad explain. He has his thought process on that.
I think it's a little like weird to try to Nas out Carl because he's just like, but yeah, he's not in the fight right now. He is not in the fight. You just let that Svipple keep him out of the fight.
And
That's
Maul's
it.
gonna even damp him, which I think it is doing.
I think it's weird. Like the Mullet, like I said, that Mullis doesn't have a massive role in my opinion. The role is like you might be able to get away with like just full damping a Logifrig to the point where it's because they don't have a long lock range to begin with, where they have to be at 0 on that target. And if anyone on your team, is more than like 5 kilometers, they have to go and lock that target and sit on it. At least it's annoying because I don't see the Maulus having a big role in this match to begin with.
I mean, the fact that one of the Nighthawks is so far away is really good for the Maulus, because it kind of makes it useful. And like, because it doesn't have like a ship that it needs to damp, it can just put full damps on the Logifrigs, which makes
exactly. That's the only thing you can do to be. That's the thing. Like I said, I don't think the Maulus is even effective in general. That's the most effective way you can use it, and it's still not something that's.
But it could have been a Carries.
It could have been and I still think that would have been like. Not an ideal ship to have in this matchup, but at least like you can put 2 damps on each Logi frigates and make their lives hell. Like you have to be zeroed to do shit. Ooh. This match.
Before we go ahead, we had a raid, and then Zebra Killer was asking what the heck is going on. We are reviewing matches from the Alliance tournament. This is the 19th one so far. It is a 10v10 format with ships given, it's battleships and below. Each ship has a point value. You get 100 points per team. Me and Chad Flame were on the same team of Essence. We've got J1tah in comms here, who is in hull control, and then Chaos is also listening. I haven't heard him in a minute. Chaos, you still with us? Wake up, Chaos. He went to sleep. Anyway, but yeah, it's a very interesting. It's hard to watch as a new player because you don't understand what all these ships do, but watching these things and figuring it out, especially if you ever get the chance to get on a team, will teach you what all these ships do. It helps you build your ship knowledge and whatnot, which helps you in the main game. But yeah, it was very fun tournament, high stakes kind of. The prizes are these ships that can only be gotten through the AT tournament that are literally worth more than most cars, worth more than a cheap car. You're not a new player. I just had no idea there was competitive events. Oh yeah. And this isn't the only one. Before this, we had the Captain's Cup, which was J1tah's baby. First ever of its kind. It was a 6v6 format. So we may see more of those in the future. Do they still do anger games?
We don't know.
As I said last week, it is in discussion. I could not confirm or deny if they plan to do anger games at some point, at some time by the end of this year. But it has been discussed and a format has been put together. It's just a matter of, do the people who run it want to do it based on the rest of you? So cannot confirm or deny if that will happen.
Yeah. But worst case scenario, what would the next tournament be? Would it
Captain's Cup in start of the year as expected?
So in about 6 months.
After Christmas. Yeah, like start of the new year.
Now, he's still reworking the rules because considering it was J1tah alone coming up with that, he did a really good job, but there were some flaws with the format that needed to be addressed. Like damp Gilas coming out your fucking wazoo.
Here's the thing.
Everything. Just fill the mids with damp and go armor.
Don't forget though, that was also allowed
armor tank shield ships
during last AT.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So he was basing a lot of those rules off of the AT rules, and in the 6v6 format, it hit a lot fucking harder than it did in the 10v10
and I'm really glad
format.
that they changed that rule for this year to make it where you could only run scripts with bonus ships. It didn't completely eliminate your chances of running one of these weird things, but you were going to be a lot less effective than a ship that's actually meant to do it.
You can't run those at all. It's not just you can't.
Oh, I thought you could run unscripted.
You can script it on a bonus. You can't run it at all.
Yeah.
I misunderstood that. I thought it was you just couldn't run it scripted. Okay.
Oh, back in the day, it used to be that you can never script them.
Yeah, the damping armor jackdaws. Jesus. Ugh.
I was bringing a stork to an armor comp just for the RCBO mids.
Mm-hmm.
Meta. Or you could be like me, throw together a comp where your team has 16 damps on on 5 of your ships, because one's a Logi, so 5 ships and you bring 16
ECM
damps
badges.
because you're good.
It's like just craziness, utter craziness. Damping fucking excurers.
every single person's lock range be 5,000, so rush us and have fun.
When you get damped by Logi, you know it's fucked up. All right. Well, the next match
one thing I'll point out
before
this match, that you're bringing up, the curse really showed this tournament.
Except when it didn't. There were a couple of matches where the curse did nothing.
Probably
just
really
bad piloting.
had more of a win-loss. Like, it won more than it lost this year.
I wonder if it comes down to just having the right disruptors.
I think most teams, from some of the kill mails I saw, were just running 2-2.
So they kept it pretty generic. Yeah, okay. That way you always at least got 2. Yeah. But anyways, so...
But I mean, Curse is the most expensive cruiser, I believe.
Is in terms of points, 14?
Yes.
Besides T3's, yes. Ikatur's is 15. And T3's
right,
are 16.
Yeah, it is the most expensive.
Well, you still have like Proteuses and Lokis are all 16.
Yeah, but Vectors. I feel kind of bad for Only Cows because they picked Hydrocomp. That's also extremely hard to execute.
High skill ceiling.
I thought that was weird because, like, AP is someone I know from a couple other players that I play with. We played them in a scrim at one point, and
is it just me?
This is not even remotely the same things.
Now that I'm looking at it, the Only Cows comp only has 3 ships with any damage at all, right? Blackbirds don't have damage. Celeste doesn't have damage. Yep. Arbitrator's got drones, but that's it. Sentinel doesn't have guns. So it's all
This is
Ewar.
quite literally a Truth Honor Light - Hydra comp.
Yes,
they run these kind of comps.
This is literally a Hydra comp from last year.
Yep. And I will say, like, those Hydra teams build their comps around Ewar a lot of the times, and low damage, and they just take advantage of moments. You know, they really take advantage of moments and then snowball. So it's not easy to just pick this comp and execute it at a level
when you
that it's made.
A Black Bargist.
Yeah. They had a flag. One match, I think they also ran a double barg. They ran this kind of setup with a double barg at one point too, which is a lot better than Barg ES.
Why'd they take the drones off the Sentinel? It was... okay, they're putting it on the Confessor, okay.
Which is also going to tank.
Oh, yeah. And
you would think.
Didn't switch to defense mode.
I think the Confessor forgot he has a defense mode.
Yeah.
I would say that was way too quick of a death for a defense mode Confessor. I will say the Drugger getting caught like that... Like I said, you know, and I say this every time, not trying to shit on individual pilots here, because I know a lot of them. That seems a little like a mistake that you can't make, kind of thing. Because you just lost all your low end damage and your tackle, and that's something like when you watch Hydra Truth Honor Light play. Amelia in the Confessor wins them matches. Period. Because of how well that ship is flown. You know.
I wonder how much practice they got on this comp. If it's something they just had to throw together. Yeah.
I'm down to practice it because I think it helps with teams' executions. That's something else you could do. Like, even if you don't plan to run this, I don't think you could execute it perfectly. Practicing comps like this, these comps are a lot less forgiving than they seem. When you practice these kind of comps, you will just get better at everything.
Another thing that they did is they were not jamming the on arrows when they were shooting something else than the on arrows with the barghest, which you shouldn't do.
I
You
was
should wait
pointing
for the
this
on arrows
out
to
in
be
I
actually
pointed this out
jammed
in
before you take
comms.
the target.
I thought it felt weird because like they're damping the Mollusk counter damp and the damping the Oneros, and it felt like you're jamming the Blackbird, right, to try to win a jam war. Why are your damps not just making that Blackbird either commit or nothing, you know? Like come into 0 to try and win the war, but like I see 0 damps going out from cows. Like that Celestus is
Only
like
cows
you
should
jamping a
have
Vindicator.
killed the stork first with their drones, Nio says. Get rid of the links. Or that's a link boat, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is extremely hard to target call. This is
Mhm.
extremely
It
hard
is.
to execute.
Especially
Oh,
with
it
how
is
tanky
winnable.
the other team is.
A lot of personal accountability with a comp like theirs because everybody's got to do their job.
That was, you know, something Elikon was saying in comms. He's kind of one of my right hand mans. They don't have a lot of damage. I'm like, yes, that's what the comp's built to be. Not a lot of damage, and you got to execute. Just
You're a
execute
scalpel.
it. And that's the thing. You lost your Confessor, your Draugr. I don't want to say it's nothing. I was about to die probably, but
Why
it's
do you
not
think?
probably where it wants
Niall's
to be.
wondering why they banned the Pontifex. Is there any reason you could see why the Pontifex was a ban for Onikals in this scenario?
I think. Well, this is the first match for PH, so it's not like they had any lead on them at all. They didn't have really any lead on them, so I wouldn't know why they would do that. If you have a Magus available on the side, I do think the Ponti is better in the sense you get the skirmish links, or not skirmish. I'm sorry, the info links. So if you're bringing all this E-War, and you want to try and have the other team run just a Magus for like skirmish armor for its bonuses, and force them into a Draugr per se for more points, that might be the reason. But I still think that it's a weird ban.
I think you should kill the armor stork as soon as you see it on the field.
The Ponti
And
is hard to
and-
kill,
Realize
so
that's a
PH switched
shield.
to the stork.
I also think the Blackbird would have been a nice. Like I feel like armor black.
Confessor.
Yeah, like Stork plus Blackbird
what
death, I
you
think makes
close.
life a lot easier.
You can fit a plate and a DCU, and that's it.
Yeah.
You think Nio thinks
No, I think-
that the info link was the most, like, if they had gone for
Yeah,
the
then
stork,
they'll
get
lose
rid of the info link.
That's the
Kill
only
stork,
reason the
they lose
Ponti ban
info
happened.
link, your E-War starts biting a bit more. Then you start jamming the on-arrows, damping all the things, and you start.
I think you kill the Stork, right? And your options are just damp the Blackbird and ignore it, and try to kill all from there, and jam like you said, jam the Oneros. I think jam the Oneros, jam the Curse, and kill the Blackbird might have been a fine move, just to like get like that's the thing with these kind of comps too. If you get a good snowball in the beginning and have an advantage and catch ships out of place on their end and take a commanding lead off the gate, this comp does way better when you have the lead. When you lose a Confessor off the gate and you're the one down, you get killed a lot like harder in this comp. Like the comp just dies a lot easier.
You know, but
That's
to
what
their
makes it
credit,
hard to run, is you
they're
need the
still
early
winning on
advantage.
points at this point. We're over 6
They
minutes
don't have
into
the
this
damage
match.
to kill anything.
They don't have the damage to kill anything,
They
but
don't
they're
have the
not.
damage to kill anything unless they jam.
But the
What's their Blackbird's jamming is my
I think this ended up coming down to the Guardian finally getting jammed, because the Guardian was being a fucking. I mean, yeah, they're down 3 ships, but he was doing his job as best he could. That Draugr lived forever.
Well, that's the thing too, though. You're talking about a team that has double Blackbird Celestus against a team that has a Blackbird.
Mm-hmm.
You probably shouldn't be losing this
Exactly.
E-War battle.
Because again, where are the damps? Where are the damps? I don't see any damps. Do you see damps?
Just jam the Molus
He's
once.
he's
Oh,
jammed
he's
out.
jammed. He's jammed out. Well, okay. Well, then he could dam. If he's
Damn the Blackbird.
Well, where are the damps on
Damn the
him coming
Blackbird.
from? The Molus?
No.
Like, why are they jamming the Blackbird with the Blackbird? Because that's just gonna mean you can't lock anything else either.
You're in a stalemate if you do that, and at least you'd be up
Yeah.
a Blackbird. But like, I would rather them just damp the Blackbird and use your Blackbirds to screw the day of that Oniros.
They
And
can't
just
because the
shoot
Celestis
targets.
lost the damp war.
Either way, though, if that was a problem as well, they could have just said, you know what, let's win you the damp war, right? And
I
have
think
you
they have to.
damp. Well, yeah, let's have you damp the Molus enough for you to like get in there and then just kill it. So that way, it's one less thing for them to worry. Like I said, it's all about snowballing in this Only Cows comp. I'm not even going to call it an Only Cows comp. I'm going to call it the Hydra comp because that's what it really is. But like you need to snowball this. Like the Hyena seems like a weird one. I get why, but it seems like you could damp that out if you get rid of the, Molus and the Stork and the Blackbird. Like if they got rid of those 3 ships early on, they have this game in the bag. You kite, you just sit there and just slowly kill things when your jams are hitting the Oniros. You have 2 ships to jam that Oniros. You're gonna land jams all day. Doesn't matter what racial jams you're running from experience of running jam ships. If you're just putting all your jams on an Oniros, he will be jammed for over 2/3 of the match, and it's not fun. It's just not fun.
I would
think the
tell.
Exec Navy is a weird one as well.
I would tell Only Cows
I think that
keep
should be
practicing
in,
this comp.
On Aerospan.
I would say keep practicing this comp. I think they were close. Just work on your low end. Get the Confessor pilot needs to get on that defensive button quicker in such situations, or maybe just not even put himself in that situation. The Blackbirds and the Celeste needed to probably communicate better, I imagine, in comms to say, hey, can you get this Blackbird jammed so I can put damps on it, kind of thing. Or no, the Molus. You said jam the Molus so I can put damps on the Molus and the Blackbird and get them out of the picture.
I mean, they could have just brought Shield Rush and Pandemic Horde would be splattered across the system.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Like the rock, paper, scissors aspect. I do feel like this weekend, rock, paper, scissors didn't kill a ton of people. Like
Exactly.
it does. A lot of the times it just is. And I will say a lot of the matches were very one-sided on the second weekend. Like we actually had trouble finding a lot of matches that were worth showing.
That weren't ours.
That weren't ours, exactly. Like at first I'm like, Ghost, we have 5 matches and like 3 of them are ours. Like that, we're not trying to. I don't want to be biased here.
Well,
I know we
didn't
got
have,
good matches.
Well,
but
I actually missed the Laserhawks match. We had considered putting Yeet Pray Loves match on here, but it wasn't as close as some of these others. Like I said, I'm not trying to be conceited,
like,
but
actually heartbroken.
I told Lazaro I was going to join his team and just be their lead theory crafter. I did get some inside knowledge. I don't want to share a ton of it, but he shared it on his stream, so I'll share what he shared on his stream. The theory crafting for that team was fine. It was the selection process to what comp they were going to put on grid that was faltered. So they had other comps. Like, one of the things that I was told was the reason they lose is because people predicted that they were going to throw that out there and just put counters out there. That's what Radicos said. They had other comps in their inventory, and the way that their team selected what comps to put on grid was the problem, not the theory crafting. So I do feel very bad for them, because like they're easily a top 8 team. Execution and pilot wise.
Debated on a whole tank.
Oh, God,
yeah,
this
that
is
was
our match.
Okay, so I'm showing the one with Dracarys. This was our first match. If we had won this, we would have been out of the feeders completely. We were heavily favored for this match, but Dracarys obviously put in some effort that nobody detected because they really flew pretty well. We made some mistakes on our end, though. We also suffered a really bad disconnect about 4 minutes into the match. Our zip pull again, it wasn't any one thing that lost us this match. It was the combination of everything. But I wanted to show this match before I showed the other match where we did really well to kind of, so, you know, talking about what it's like to actually be in this. There's a lot of nerves, a lot of jitters, you know. You no matter how much practice you put in, until you get on grid with 3,000 people watching you, you don't know how you're going to react. So, but we bounced back after this really hard, and I was really proud with how we performed. We didn't make it out of the feeders, but we gave everybody a good show, so that's what matters, right? In some degree. But anyway, I'll go ahead and start
I actually
this.
wanted to ask about this comp. Why triple battleship?
Also for them.
Okay. First. Bunja asked, why ban the Typhoon fleet issue?
Okay.
If you want to answer that.
So, let's go through something that was a little interesting, right? We went through scrims this year, and bar guests have always been the biggest pain in our asses. I hate bar guests. I will ban it, so don't think you can make a comp to counter me with a bar guest. Okay?
You will never counter us with bar guests because you'll never get to fly it.
Unless, if it's a flagship bar guest, then we have other things for that. We just don't want to deal with it.
If we're at that stage of the tournament, we don't get...
Yeah, here's the secondary. We banned the Lashek just because Jakar's is a weird team to scout this year, right?
This was literally their first
really
match
weird.
ever. Right?
And it was just weird, like, being in a different time zone. They flied a really weird style on TQ, Z-Kill. Just from looking around, I knew nobody that scrimmaged them. Come to find out, they were scrimmaging Platinum Sensitivity, which I didn't think Mark would give them the time of day, to be honest with you. But then when he bet over 1 million channel points on Jakar's to beat us, that was weird.
Real
So
quick.
basically, I was just trying to get rid of a kitey battleship meta option, and the Typhoon does really good at being that just kitey battleship. Like it's a replacement. It's the closest thing you get to a replacement Barg, honestly. Just because of how quick it moves, it has the utility highs to do it with the missiles. I just didn't want to see a shield rapid heavy battleship. And I don't mind Scorps and Ravens because they're just not fast, and we could catch that and kill that with this comp. Typhoons is a little bit harder to do that with.
To be fair, it's a trickle ban, so
It was a trickle too,
It's
so it was
kinda
not like
whatever.
our original ban.
We were also trying to avoid showing what we were bringing to some degree. That was the Typhoon fleet is like a generic enough band that you don't gauge what we're bringing based off that
weird
band.
ban. So you can't
That
really
wasn't-
make any reads.
That was another thing that was going through my head, right? Is I don't like everyone in comms is like, you should ban this instead, and I was like, listen. First things
Blackbird.
first.
I remember us all screaming Blackbird.
Someone
Like,
said,
we're
ban
not dealing
Blackbird,
with
I don't
this.
want to face E-War. And I said to them, listen, here's what's going to happen. You're going to ban the damn Blackbird, and then they're just going to bring another E-War ship. So you're not getting rid of the
Exactly.
problem that you have a problem with. You're just telling them you don't like it, and they're going to bring something else, maybe.
Exactly. You're
Like, it's too many
telegraphing you
mind
don't want to
games.
deal
Let's
with it.
just go in.
You
Yeah,
just forget the mind games, you ban the E-War that you'll like the least and be done with it.
And some teams
I
did
think in
that.
AT that's going to be a thing. Here's the thing though, like if you ban like Brave, let's use Brave as an example. They ban Carius and Maulus. You can just bring a Celestis and still have damps. It's not like that's a huge difference.
Yeah, but
I
that's
do
the
think
advanced phase.
come AT though, right? You could ban Maulus, Carius, Celestis, which would force them into a recon, which is like not even remotely close in points, you know? At least Carius and Celestis are close in points. So I just didn't want to telegraph what we didn't want to see, kind of thing.
I think our ban selection was the best. We picked 2 red ships and done with it. Just
We
all sets.
did that originally, and like going into day 2, I knew it was a long day. I wanted to use LeShuck in day 2. If we didn't make it past this match, I just did it because LeShucks are strong. They really are strong. And they do good against our kind of comp setup like this.
I think it's a fair ban. And Pargus ban makes sense.
But anyway, starting into this match, we sent Kirk and Shenanibus to just deal with the Logi frigates. One went low, one went high. They did a really good job. Shenanibus overshot a little bit going into this, but they were able to get on this Navitas eventually. And then we were primarying the Redeemer, right? Yeah.
Redeemer versus Bindi. In the middle, just battleships doing their thing.
And this was one of the mistakes that we had made off the bat. We had intended for different targets to be neutralized and
neuted. We wanted to newt out other newts on certain things.
Specifically,
and it just seemed like it went a little.
The call was to newt out the Armageddon Navy, but again, jitters or whatever reason, not trying to call out or throw anybody under the bus. They didn't land on the correct target. So that was the first mistake we made.
I don't think that's a mistake, because you're not going to newt out a battleship with a single...
you can newt a battleship out with 4 heavy newts. Well, the thing I said was the Redeemer is going to die, period, right? No matter what.
Yeah.
It's just not going to live. Newting the Redeemer seems like a waste. Because it's just, no matter what, it's not going to live. So we had newts across execs and newts across their Logi frigates with our small end already. I was like, come the end of the match, having an ABBA and get a Navy that has had newt pressure on it the entire game probably is going to help us in the long run,
Because the idea...
Because the idea with my call was looking more ahead into the future. Like, this is going to be a match that's going to come down to mid to end game. We need to get the advantage going now.
I think at this point you win the match.
Mm-hmm.
You have won the match, and then something happens.
We're winning the match at this point. I 100% agree.
Our damage was a little split, because right now we're shooting both the Exeg Navy and the Oracle just a little bit. I think the call was the Oracle.
That's the thing that was weird. I was off seeing this match, top end.
But you died right off the bat, so you're having to do it without
I was dying, and I called a target, and then the guy who wanted to take over called a different target, and I said, no, I want you to shoot this target. And it just turned into 2 calls, and I just overrode his call.
I think at this point you should have at least 1 heavy newt on each of the non-battleships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was called, yep.
Again, this was not our best showing. This was where the jitters were really hard to end, but we recovered really good after this.
I mean, I fully understand. We failed our first match. We basically had won the match, and then we kind of forgot we had to tackle things.
No, at this point, there should have been 2 on each battleship.
Shots fired. Victor Invictus, I haven't seen you in forever, bro. How have you been?
You're unbanned. Oh my god, you're unbanned.
I never banned him. He's a cool guy.
No. He was banned from Eve.
Oh, okay.
Are you still banned from Eve?
Are you still banned from Eve for saying naughty things in rookie chat? The best edgelord. Like, can't even fault you.
Horribly. And here's the weird thing at this point. It's interesting because, like Judah said, at this point you would think we're actually technically losing at this point. Like, points-wise, we're down by 2, and
here's where the disconnect. Here's where we
1.
lost the SIP pool, because, okay, the idea was, you see, the SIP pool was going after the Pontifex, and then he got disconnected, and we lost the fucking Pontifex.
And we lost the Ponty kill, and we were just trying to headshot their links, and have links, and they don't have links kind of situation.
Because you see how his speed drops to 0, he's disconnected at this point.
I'm sitting there like, wait, what? And they're like, can you get back in?
He's being so polite and calm, just, guys, I disconnected. While everybody else is like, it's like he's just like...
He felt horrible. Dude, he felt horrible.
He was trying so bad not to call our comms. It took us a whole minute to realize, oh, wait, he's disconnected.
and trying to get back in. Like
he wasn't even sure
yeah,
if he
we
was
lost-
allowed to come back in. He thought he might have been warped out of the bubble and killed because he went off grid. So he wasn't even sure if he was supposed to log back in.
He was
you
like
always
trying
try.
to. He tried to, and he almost actually got back in on time. Like the second he was like, "I'm about to click on my character. Am I still alive?" I'm like, "No, man, you just went down." That if we would have killed the Ponty, and then we would have had him just help out killing battleships, you know. You'll see in about 5 minutes why that's important.
Another
But
thing
see,
I
there-
noticed was talked about in the official Discord, AT General, and I don't want to mention it too much because it's kind of toxic at this point. But your exec navy is sitting like way far out for no reason. Should be in
He
antimatter
was
range.
valuing tracking at this point, but
You're shooting a
he's doing-
battleship. Your tracking doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
can track it, orbiting it. I 100% agree with that.
Like that, like the difference between.
and at this point he
thorium
really
and
should have been
antimatter.
running from that Ponty because the Ponty was just barreling at him.
I could understand like the sense of
Like that Navigator would have died a lot faster with 800 DPS.
I will say one thing, right? You gotta hover outside of its like newt range. And when it died,
you
like
have a
right now,
Captain
he should
Threat.
just be barreling in to do as much damage to this ABBA before he dies. Because he's going to die. That is
just
guaranteed.
drop off at 30, easy.
Like the
All
thing
they
I
have to
think
do
I
is
can
just drop off at 30 kilometers. You have a cap booster. You don't care about being neutered. Whatever. You can always pull out.
no cap booster.
A what?
No cap booster.
Okay.
So like the newts would have been affecting
That's a 50
him.
minus DKP. That's a minus 50 DKP. Yeah, that's what they say.
Minus 50 DKP.
But he like definitely could have been in more than 75 kilometers away.
I mean, without a cap booster, that's kind of scary.
Even with it, out it though, you can be in like he was double tracking fit, so he could be shooting, you know, high damage ammo.
What did
From
you have in the
45
third
away.
wave then? You have a prop, you have a
NWD,
double tracker.
SB,
Prop,
TC,
SIBO.
TCs,
SIBO.
SIBO.
Huh.
Yeah, it was more. It is a sniping fit. I think he played it too careful because you can be in at 0 with that thing. You got a Nas. You can be in. You just, you know.
I mean, you can be at 30 and like you have double checking comp. You're opti with.
If you're hitting, yeah, you're hitting
it's
with
about, like,
freaking
25.
antimatter, and you're in
Yeah.
fall off newt range, you'll still be fine.
Yeah.
You know, and you could play the boundary too, because like I said, it's a battleship. You could pull in and out, in and out, in and out for your cap. Like, you'll be fine. I did notice that after the match when I rewatched, I was like, dude, we just needed you a little closer. But now it's like 2 minutes. Can you kill an ABBA in 2 minutes? It's like that's a, you know, ABBA brick boy. He had reps on himself too, so that did not help.
We did a lot of post-op after this match, like I said, and our next match against, or our first real match against I Could Be Better, you could definitely
another
see
thing,
the improvements.
I was yelling in our comps when we were watching the match that you only need to kill the Navy AUG and the Pontifex and you win.
That's what we were. That's what I originally
that
said. But he
same
was.
sentence-
Here's the issue: because he was killing the Geddon, he had. It was missile fit, by the way, mind
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Geddon.
I know.
He had T2 ammo in already,
Oh, yeah.
and because he was shooting the other Geddon, and he had a full amount of his clip to finish. So he's like, I'm gonna empty my clip,
Yeah, but
or I can.
Pontifex and Nog are like right there.
Yeah,
like,
but the
Would
thing
he
is,
have been
he's
able
just
to
not
clip
gonna
them in
apply to
time,
kill them
though?
quick
That's the
enough with
question.
T2 ammo. So he would have had to have gone to a full reload, which I said, like, I said your options are either A, you go to a reload right now and you shoot them, or B, you commit to killing an ABBA. And he's like,
I mean, that's a really hard
I've been
call to
neuting
make,
this
to be honest.
ABBA out. He says, I've been neuting this ABBA out for quite some time. I'm gonna commit to the ABBA. And I'm like, dude, you're flying your call. I just said, dude, if you're confident you're gonna do it, you're flying your call. I'm not gonna backseat.
That's actually a really hard call to make.
Exactly.
It is. And that's why I said, you know what? I said off the gate, you just need to kill these two. He's like, I got T2 ammo in. I'm going to shoot until we make a decision. And I'm like, okay. If you're
Okay,
going to shoot,
that's
though,
what
you
I
need,
said
you either
first,
need to
and
reload right now and kill them, or you need to commit.
Mhm.
And he said, I'd prefer to commit. And I said, you're on grid. You're the only one left. you 1v1. That's your call.
Yeah, it was
To
really
his
close.
credit, he was so close.
Yeah.
One more clip. One
And like
more
I said,
clip.
noting, like I said, if there was a spitball on grid shooting this entire time, because Abba's guns was off.
finally
There
the
is
clip.
a cap. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. There is a cargo container that
Yeah.
Abba was trying to get to about a minute ago. He could not get to it because it was dropped not close enough.
And Nio finally dropped the question, why missiles mixed with turrets? That was, everybody was, why are there not beams on this Geddon?
This is what's funny about it, right? Everyone thinks that that's so good. Pulses cost 7,000 more PG. That was kind of a bait tank Geddon, not gonna lie. Hoping they would shoot that burst. Obviously, I was expecting the Vindy to go first, and then the Geddon, not then the Tempest. Like with what was said and done, it was a little more beefy boy fit versus damage boy fit. Which, in that sense, you lose if it's damage boy fit, or you win if it's damage boy fit. If they shoot the Geddon earlier, though, we win that match easily. And if like they leave the Tempest, we win that easily.
Again, why triple battleship?
It was something we practiced a lot.
Yeah, this was probably the comp we practiced the most.
Have you heard about our Lord and Savior cruisers?
Yes. Yes, we have.
Did you know that Exec Navy has about the same DPS as a Brutix Navy, but it's a cruiser with destroyer's agility? And you can fit a 1600
coming
blade.
into the day, I was saying like, God, I really fucking hope people don't ban E&I. I really fucking hope people don't ban E&I.
And
Because
if you bring 2 of them, they cost the same as any other Navy cruiser.
With the point reduction?
I went through and was just looking. I was like, I really hope they don't ban it. Because every single team that we played on day 2 was banning out cruisers on day 1. I mean, we like scouting a lot of those teams. We figured like this comp, most of the time beats the mirror comp, right? Like the other team bringing triple battleship. We through scrimmages have found this comp that we flew wins. Like the win rate was absurd, so we were predicting they were going to bring the triple battleship, and that's why we brought the triple battleship because we just felt like we would do better.
Was this our
and
A
I
comp
think
here?
your comp wins this, like, by a long shot.
Well, this is what's weird. Like, off the gate, Ghost, if you want to pause it, just to... By the way, skin game. Look at that skin game.
Mm-hmm.
We won the skin game, by the way, for sure. Something... Is this the one with comms?
Yeah, all of ours have comms.
No, but this is the one that's supposed to be playing comms, isn't it?
Well, I was going to, but you suggested we just do it for the last one. Do you want me to play our comms with this? If our comms are on point here, I'd love to play them.
I don't mind it for this one. I don't care. What I will say, before... Because comms start like later than when we land on grid, obviously.
I can rewind it a little bit. I have it...
No. Yeah. I mean, like, when we officially land on grid. I'm down to start
I have all the stuff... Yeah,
I'll just get him the context. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What was brought up? Just start it with, like, the 6 seconds. That's fine. Like, go to right before match starts.
There we go. Skin game.
The thing that was mentioned that I said off the gate is, I think we beat them in projection here. And someone's like, wait, what? I was like, Abba versus Abba. Leshak versus Deemer. Leshak's better. I said, yeah, I'm a Vindicator. I don't project worth the shit. I understand that. I'm just gonna fucking go in there. I don't give a fuck.
I think you need to pull the Leshak. That's like, just go in with everything else and pull the Leshak, because the newts are gonna shut it off.
That's what we were originally. I told the guys, like, I think what they're gonna do is pull back. What we need to do, I'm gonna have the Leshak pull back, Abba hold its ground. I'm gonna charge in and kind of be like a battleship screener, and see what happens. I was like, I don't want anyone overcommitting here. Like, this is just a time where I think we could like get an advantage on a ship with the Abba and Leshak, as long as the Leshak, doesn't overcommit or over pull back, which Elikon is really good in the Leshek, so like that's why another reason triple battleship. Like last year, he brought a Leshek in almost 1v6 Hidden Leaf, which is kind of fucking scary. So I was like, Elikon, just don't get in the thick of it right away. I'll try to screen. And someone just said, I don't think you went in the projection more here. And I was like, well, I'm not going to be obviously projecting. I'm just going to go in and hopefully they make a mistake. We just got to play it smart. If you want to go through things before Ghosty rolls comms, that was kind of the plan. I was going to be up front like you would in a webbing ship, kind of. Everyone else is going to just hold until something's out of place for them
really
where we have that
screener.
advantage.
You were a really big screener.
I am pretty big. We're not going to lie. I flew Vindicator for all of our matches, which is kind of fun. Which is kind of funny.
Can you tell what his favorite ship in the AT is?
It's not the Vindicator, actually.
Even though he flies it all the time.
I fly it the best on our team. That's the only reason. Just being honest, I was told by a couple people who I tried to have fly it. They're like, man, I just do better in this. Like, the role seems off-putting. Can you do it? And I just did it. I was like, this is fucking funny as shit to do.
I was actually super conflicted watching this match because I know people from both teams.
But yeah, so the plan was just like wait it out, get the advantage. I did agree off the gate though. I did feel like as long as Little Shack doesn't get neuted out, we're in good shape.
Like you can just go and brawl and the Leshak pulls and eventually you'll win the DPS.
You just got to get rid of the newts. That's why I was like, I want the Redeemer first.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, and also what else I liked about it, like the Reason Redeemer as well. Thermal hull.
Yeah, and it's the least tanky battleship on the field.
Yeah, believe it or not,
like blobs D to resist don't.
Believe it or not, it was like brought EHP. It was not out of their ships.
Wait, is that a button like triple heatsink something?
I think it was. Was it the Tempest or one of the two were like it was only like 20k EHP difference, but they had local reps on them. So like arguably speaking, yes, they'd have more EHP. Like if you get a few reps off.
Yeah.
But like the Redeemer was not. The Redeemer was double plated as you'd expect, and what was really weird was it was not very resistance heavy. 62% thermal resist.
I mean, it's a blobs. It's basically T1 resist.
Yeah. Still a strong ship. I will say I do like the Redeemer for 21. I think the Good Navy's better, but like I don't think the Redeemer is bad. I think a lot of people really don't like it. I prefer other ships over it, but I think it's a good like secondary option.
I think Get a Navy has been overvalued in the feeders.
I
feel like people expect it to be a lot better than it is.
I don't think it's overvalued. I think it is something that's not. I think it's valued good. I think it's something that provides quite a lot of utility damage, drones, HP. Like it has a good mix of everything. I think people are hyping it up too much, though. Like I think its value is great. I just think people are just like, you have to have it get a Navy. It's like, no, you don't really. Like we only banned the Get a Navy. We only banned the Get a Navy because they brought a comp the match before that was Bal Get a Navy. And mind you, once again, that was a trickle ban. The order of the bans is in alphabetical always, so it doesn't show what was trickle. I was like, oh, they ban our Balgorn. Fuck you, we're banning your Armageddon Navy then. Let's see what you can do. Because like I had more faith in our theory crafting from prepping before that we were going to be able to put something good on grid, that they might have to do an interesting change up. And I think that was what the Redeemer actually ended up being, the sub for the Get a Navy. So I kind of read the ban thing, I think, pretty well.
I think your Mauler is way better than a Sweeple that they have in this comp.
Hey, we got both.
Yeah, does some work
I
in
don't
that Mauler.
Understand the Punisher.
3 points tackle.
Exactly. That's all we needed it for.
Interceptors are just...
It should be a Maulers with a scram.
EHP's not even in the same boat.
Yeah, but it's a Punisher. It doesn't move. It moves like a cruiser.
Oh, 2000's not bad.
Now 2000 slow for a frigate.
Well, Ghosty, if you want, I think we're good to
Sounds fine.
start it off.
Yeah, harder saw me.
This one's like comms were not that bad, so I was like, you know, there's nothing too telling in comms. It's pretty like straightforward and pretty fair comms. I was like, fuck it. You know what? If people want to hear how an AT's comms go, let's do it.
Hold up. Double checking. You guys stay quiet for a second. I got to make sure it's actually playing the audio.
They're target panning Quinn.
Okay, it is.
Yep, they're targeting Quinn.
They're pulling range.
Yeah, they're pulling range. It's fine. It's fine.
Kirk is
Hyena's
gonna
out
pull
in
back.
front. Yep, pull back if you need to. Just keep projecting the deemer.
Going
'Cause
back
they're
in, going back
shooting
in.
they're shooting our low end, and just watch if you can MJD play them. We might be okay. Only do it if you know you can do it, though. Abba's the closest thing to me, actually. I'm gonna burn in and try to get it.
If you get it, we'll hold switch.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are actually breaking him. Elcon's spooling, so...
Exec Navy is kind of split off. Do you want me to try for it?
Ed, what's your deal?
I'm kind of had to turn back because they were.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Targeting
fine.
him.
If he's hard split off, maybe.
Nah, he's pulling back in. He's pulling back in. I'll pull back. I'll pull back. I'll pull back.
Okay, okay. Yep, just play it smart, guys. Just play it smart.
Redeemer's heavy pulse.
Swipel's pulling in. Swipel's pulling in.
No, it's not.
Slowly.
You're
Magus
pulling
is
to
above
him.
us. Magus is above us.
I'm gonna start burning back a little bit.
Ooh, Deacon is actually in front of me. Don't
throw a
take
D-
it.
Take it, take it, take
Deacon?
it, take it, take it, take it, take it,
Take,
take it.
going for
take it,
Deacon.
take
Go
it.
for Deacon. Go for Deacon.
Which one? Which one? Which one? Call it.
XXXXXXXXX.
Gideon.
Ed, get in on their Logifrigs. Ed, get in on their Logifrigs if you can.
Ghosty helping
Yeah,
call
they're
from the bench.
targeting hard.
X tackled. X tackled.
Okay, coming in for second there then.
4 is coming after me, it looks like. The ENI. What's
I
he
need
doing?
reps. I need reps. I need reps. I need reps.
I'm heating.
I turned up the micro overdrive.
They're hard
Log my
focusing Ed.
signature.
I'm about to get Vindy Webs in on there.
You want me
Call
to
it your
grab
weapon.
the drop the Deacon and grab the hyena?
No.
No? Okay.
Because let's just get these Logifrigs. We're
Okay.
stalemated with them.
I'm not doing much to it.
One quick point, I'm pausing in here. If you guys are joining a team like I did, you can watch. The guys on grid don't have this information. That's why I was calling that Edward, because I get to see just how much of their E-War is being pumped onto Ed's. That's why I called out that Ed's being hard focused. So you don't want to overly clutter up comms, but you can help out even if you're not on grid. Anyway, continuing.
Well, you're not going to kill it. People just need to get in on
Okay,
it.
okay.
Actually, I'm in on the Abaddon. I'm in on
Yeah,
the Abaddon. I'm in
then
on
I
the
swore.
Abaddon.
Okay, we'll go hold
Yep.
switch. Hold switch to the
I'm
Abaddon.
about to get web on him. I'm about to get web on him. I'm about to get web on him. Oh, he's pulling out. 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 Kirk, are you in still on those deacons?
I'm just
Oh,
still
hyena?
holding the Deacon.
Hyena, half armor. Hyena. Take a pop shot on the hyena if you can. Anyone who can take a pop shot on the hyena, take a pop shot on the hyena.
Okay.
You say
Chet,
tackle.
do you know
hyena.
weapon? Do you know?
Hyena tackle. Hyena tackle.
Chet, do you have the Abaddon?
If you can tack, yeah. I'm on him. I'm on him. I'm on him. I'm on him now. I'm on him. I'm on him.
Whoever put their drones on those ECMs on Elicon was a champ. I don't know whose drones those are.
Double webs on the fucking Abaddon. Heat on the Abaddon. Heat on the Abaddon.
We're gonna lose Alex. Haven't broke anything out along.
ENI noted.
Oh, shit.
What are you
Lost
on,
Alex?
Ed? What are you on? What are you on? You have the
ENI.
Don't shoot the ENI then. We are not shooting the ENI. We are not shooting the ENI.
Kill the Abaddon.
Yeah, Abaddon, and then I'm gonna try to see if we can do it.
Baden's entering hole. It's entering hole. Stay on it.
Check. We got him.
Again, don't clutter comms. They
We're about
didn't
to
need
get
to know
webs
that.
on
They
the
knew
deep.
that.
I'm gonna smart bomb off the armor bots.
That's fine.
I'm already on the
Do
armor
it,
bots.
Do it. I'm about to get webs on the deacon as well.
Elikon with his fucking fireworks.
Abaddon, nice. Hyenas up close.
Still have hyena tackled.
Get on the hyena then. Let's nuke it. Let's make our lives easier.
Tempest Fleet, 30 kilometers.
Go. Can we go in on that?
He's
The
moving
Deemer's
fast.
even closer, actually. The Deemer's even closer.
He's 40 from me, but I can project to him if you need.
Tempest is closer to me.
Tempest is closer to you? Gotcha, I'll go for Tempest.
Chad, we'll work around you. Just do you.
I am doing me. They're right near me. They're all right near me. Just shoot this hyena.
Last point on exec.
Gotcha.
Good job.
Nice.
I'm gonna
Only
go
thing that's close
pressure Logi again.
Gotcha. I'm not near any of them, so you pressure Logi. I'm gonna come.
Do you want me to grab something for you?
Grab one of the Logis. Can you grab Y? Can you grab Y?
Yeah, going for Y.
What's got
Sweat
me?
is going
Keep
after
pressure up.
Kyle.
Keep pressure up.
Zipple's got me.
Zipple's on us.
Quinn, maybe go back and peel the Swipple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
going back.
I'll go back to Swipple a little bit too.
Okay.
No, I'm going back for Swipple.
Y
I'm gonna
tackled. Y tackled.
Y tackled. Thank you. I'm almost on the Swipple.
You don't need to put a
Yeah,
barrage
no.
on them.
No, I'm on the Swipple.
Nothing else is in my range, so that's my only.
Oh, maybe
Point on
Ian.
Swipple.
Ian came in as well, so he might.
Ian, I came into.
I'll get the ENI. We'll go him next.
Do I go help our Logi?
Elikon could use reps if we have any.
I think we're fine.
We're pretty split out. I'm gonna try to get in the middle.
Can we get the Swipple, boys?
Working on it.
Let's try and regroup. On Chad.
Can-
I think we
can-
regroup on Chad. Let's take this moment to try and regroup on Chad. I have ENI tackled, so like everything else is like 100 off. I'm pretty close to like edge, so I'm gonna start pulling back middle a little bit, guys. Let's
Everything's
try to
off
meet
of
up in the
me.
middle of the
3
arena.
minutes,
Try and
30
meet up-
left. You have a 24-point lead.
Yes. Let's try and meet up in the middle of the arena, guys. Let's
Okay.
try and meet up.
Looking
towards the
for
middle.
ENI.
Drop
Looking
tackle.
for ENI.
Drop and tackle on Deacon. Drop
Yep,
and
you're good.
tackle on Deacon.
Let's regroup. We have an advantage. Let's take advantage of it, guys.
Yeah, let's finish that ENI.
Do your ENI.
ENI down.
Good work.
Then to charge in.
Kind of in no man's land curve.
Tempest is
Yeah,
going
no,
in.
come
Tempest
back.
is going in. Tempest is going in. Do we want to
Kurt,
be
just chime
back
in a little bit. Yep.
They want
Tempest.
to
He's not.
burning.
He's burning for the MJD beacon.
I will take care of the Tempest.
Tempest is burning for the MJD beacon.
I can try
almost
to.
within- He's within 30 of me. I'm about to get webs on him. Almost got webs on him. Just shoot
clearing
Tempest.
those E-ward runs off the
Shoot
wall.
Any
Tempest.
chance I could
Can I get
kill
tackle on
these
the Tempest so he
rounds?
doesn't MJD? Tackle the Tempest.
He's not on the beacon. He's not on the beacon.
He might have a local one. I don't have a scram.
I'm coming. I'm going.
Webs.
Point on the Tempest.
Thank you.
Point Tempest dropping point.
They're shooting Bunny now, but I should be alright for a little while.
Mike, can you pressure the ENI of Y?
The what?
Or the Deacon of Y, sorry.
Deacon
Yeah.
away?
Actually, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Deacon of Y, I have webs on the Deacon of X. He's double webbed. Deacon of X is double webbed.
Heard.
Yeah, just shoot X. Because X is double webbed. He's just going to be easy bait.
Yeah, it's gonna force the Y to pick a target.
Yeah.
Mutes on
Tackle
Deacon.
on X.
Mutes on Deacon.
Do we still
Which
have
one?
point on Tempest?
Yes.
X is what we're shooting.
Tempest is
X
pointed.
Yep. Big shit, shoot one. Small shit, shoot X.
Shooting X.
What's
Shooting
getting
X.
me? The Tempest. Okay.
Do we have a
Somebody
secondary
shooting
on
Y, shooting
Tempest?
Y, shooting
Yes,
X.
yes.
Redeemer will be the next for the big boys. For Logi Freaks. I have no more webs on X.
Redeemer is
Don't
on
have
top of
tackle on
Bunny.
it.
I think it'll be fine. We just gotta kill this Tempest. We just
Web
gotta
on
kill this
Redeemer. Web on Redeemer.
I'm gonna go all in on Redeemer after this.
I'm muting, trying to nuke off both of their logic.
I have Vindy web on Redeemer. Vindy web on Redeemer. Just keep everything big. Shoot
Last
the Deemer.
minute.
Everything big, shoot the Deemer. Everything small, shoot the Deacon. Everything
Got
big, shoot the
50
Deemer. Everything
seconds
small,
left.
shoot the
Nexus
Deacon.
primer.
You can pull webs off the Deemer. You don't need a web. You can pull webs off. It's scrimped.
Gotcha. Dropping webs for Logifrigs. Small stuff, just clean up crew on the Logifrigs.
Logifrigs are being muted to 0 by me, both.
Good job.
Go
Just
wide,
clean
go
them up.
wide, go wide.
Can you just mute
Small
their
wing
pontoon
wide, small
bucket?
wing wide.
Bunny's gonna run out of cap charges. Anyone got cap charges?
30 seconds.
Coming to you,
Doesn't
coming
matter.
to
Yeah,
you,
Chad
coming
does,
to you.
Chad does, Chad
Good
does.
fight
Chad
in
I'm
does.
local.
jettisoning him. The
Doesn't
good fight doesn't matter.
It doesn't
I know.
matter.
Cap charges jettisoned.
You did
Cap
it.
charges jettisoned.
Coming to you, Bunny.
Alright, sweet.
I only have
Um,
one, but
That's fine. I just need one.
Just keep it going. Just keep it up.
My
9, 7,
okay.
6, 5, 4, 2, and 1. Good fight. Good fight.
I killed the Deemer.
Nice job. That's so much better than yesterday. And this fight.
Oh, oh, that was such a good match. Crap. There. Y'all still there?
You guys are like way too disciplined in comms.
Oh.
You're like polite and shit.
You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong about that. What's really weird, right? Is
Like when I have something tackled, the neighbors know that I have something tackled.
yeah, it's funny because Cal Milcom's, just for anyone who doesn't know this shit yet, there's two ways it goes. Either everyone shuts the fuck up and listens to one dude, or everyone's talking about pizza parties and whatnot. Like, there's never an in-between. It's
Well,
like
even
one of the
Null, it's
hardest
kinda
things
like
for
that.
our team. Well, one of the hardest things for our team, that I put out a few videos of other teams this year, and I said, talk over each other. Whoever, like you said, whoever's talking the loudest, you know, has got the most important thing to say.
Yeah, to be honest, like as a new team, because we are pretty new for the most part, the communication is like one of the hardest things to learn.
Like, I will say we are a little too disciplined comes, but I will also say, like, a lot of good info was, like, actually shared. So I was not, like, disappointed in the fact that everything that needed to be said felt like it was said.
Exactly.
But I will
Like,
say I don't mind a little bit more messy
part
comms
where-
myself.
The part where I was like really impressed was when that sit full slipped past and got on Kirk and Spoons, and we all fell back and screamed. You know, you could hear everybody was like, "Hey, we need to peel for them." You know, it's like, thank God, a team that peels for their fucking healers. Any game that you've been in, if you've been the support player and their DPS assassin gets in the back line and kills you and your team doesn't stop to help you, yeah, that's the most frustrating fucking thing in the world. And you
Well,
guys...
it was really funny. One of my favorite moments of that match, right, is when Alex Turner, he was dead, right? And I'm like, oh, there's a Spitball and an E&I in our back line. I'll bring the Vindicator back there. He's like, probably don't need to. I'm like, dude, everything else is like 45 off of me. Spitball's like, I just approach him and I could get Vindy webs
and
on
it worked
that
out
thing.
because the E&I dug back in there as well.
Yeah, and I
so-
was just able to get both of them with one web each.
Exactly.
And if anyone doesn't know, if you've never flown a Vindicator before, if you put double Vindy webs on something and shoot it with blasters,
it dies.
that thing won't exist in a little bit.
It goes delete.
Depending on how many plates it put on.
Usually it doesn't matter how many. I mean, if it's a battleship, it's different, but like any destroyer down, you shoot it with a Vindicator, you're usually gonna wreck it.
The only thing that lives very long against it may be a whole tanked Mega Navy. A whole tank Mega Navy that Vindy is going to be like, oh god, for a minute. But all right.
Now, that's another thing I think we did really well in that match too. Is
I think somebody should have called out that the Logifrigs were AB, and then you just put the Mauler on it and keep one looted, and they do shit.
I mean, going into it, believe it or not, like I said, there was 2 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, I know.
Recorded. I have yet to really see any other team run anything but AB frigs.
Really just
Right.
you're just asking to get headshot with an MWD.
Yeah. So like Kirk went in, tackled it, and then went over to the hyena. And once Ed got in, I think also just like the sense of someone being on top of you scares the shit out of people too. It's like putting the Mauler there, like him getting there halfway through the match when we got regrouped and everything. That probably they shit the bed because there was a Mauler on them, and then they shit the bed because their capacitor was empty. So.
That's what happens. I like the plan was to kill the Redeemer, and that's what you killed last.
Yeah. Hey,
but no plan survives the contact with the enemy.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say too. It felt like that match was very fluid because it wasn't like you just tunnel visioned on one thing. Like that's another thing. New teams that's like I feel like those comms for a new team is easy for someone to understand, not get overwhelmed. And I was like, that's why I didn't mind sharing them because it wasn't like I said. I don't feel like there was anything that gave anything away from our team, and it was really easy for viewers to pick up on what's going on.
Yeah, it's always easy the backside.
Yeah, and
and it shows the importance of split-second decision-making, because again, like he said, we said Redeemer first, and it was the last one dives because we had to make decisions in the moment, and this was the match
Chad
where...
got webs on an Abaddon, like everyone switched right then, and it died 30 seconds later. Yeah, so... Like with that being, is this the Galente Gambit already?
I saved yeah, we've gone through. Well, I was planning on doing a prize break in the middle of this, but since I'm not even logged into Eve at the moment, I'm going to do it afterward when I do the regular stream.
Yeah, we already did all those. So we've already on match 8.
Technically match 9 because we added in the extra one for hole control since we had J1tah here with us.
Holy shit!
Yeah, we made good time tonight.
I mean, that match was a nothing burger. They just died and the match ended.
Oh god, the comms on this match is like...
Yes, I saved the best for last. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a moment
I'm going to spoil one thing.
No,
there's one... It's not going to spoil it, but I'm just going to say one thing about him in general. We were going into this match, and the way I was treating it was purely as a show match.
Actually, just people who may have missed the start of the stream. So, if you didn't watch the AT, we aren't in it. We were in the Galente Gambit, and at this point, Snuffed had already won. So this match was basically exhibition, and both teams decided to go out with honor.
They actually talked to each other.
Not pre-planned, no collusion.
Nice, fucking perfect.
No, well, what happened? Just to give you the. We were bringing the same thing we brought the last match anyways. And, it was discussed in comments, do we want to fly something funky and stupid? And I said, you know what? And someone said, oh, let's try this and let's try this. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. If y'all want to put shit together, I don't care. You put whatever the hell you want to put together. I'm done theory crafting. My AT season ends here. I ain't fucking doing shit. So I just handed everyone the same ships and said, let's go out there and do what Galente ships do best. Approach F1.
Yeah, approach at 0 and blast your face off.
This is like...
we did it just because it was the same comp, as last time.
Yeah, that's fair. But you could have put blasters on the exec.
Mind you, I think the exec helped us out a lot, believe it or not. You'll see why.
No, he kept me alive a lot longer than I needed to be.
But what was funny is we get into the arena. For anyone who doesn't know, by the way, you enter the system and you're in a straight line about 20 AU from the arena. There are 20 AU on the opposite side, so you don't see what's on D-scan. You see the entire other team. There's like 38 people, and locally you have all the casters and referees and CCP members in each team. And you can talk to each other in local. Usually it's good fight, have fun. Sometimes people joke around. Like when we played Snuffed, we were upset Nuke wasn't even on grid. And I told them we banned Marshall and faxes, and that the bans just never went through, I guess. Stuff like that. Against these guys, they turned around and said, just so you know, we're warping at 0. Sitting in J1tah. You want me to that's what they just said. We're warping 0.
Actually,
going out in style.
I have both perspectives for this match. I have my perspective and CCP's perspective. But if you guys, this is what it looks like when you get teleported out. You're in a neat little line, and then you got to pick your ranges to warp into the arena. And this is where I zoom in to check out our skin game. Oh.
You got
don't share the shitty throw together Newt Vexor fit that I came up in a matter of 2 minutes because I hate Newt Vexors because Maulers are king.
But you can see, like he says, we're in local chit chatting with the refs and the other team and all that good jazz. My screen's just a little hectic here. Last second adjusting. Okay, this one I'm going to put up on YouTube so you guys can see my perspective, but we're going to actually watch CCP's perspective so you can actually see.
I want to see. Wait, what did they say? Right there, right there. I have instructed my team to warp everything to 0. That's what he wrote.
That's awesome. That's the
way to end it. It's proper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially if for Galente theme, you know, maybe it wouldn't have been for Galente. It had to be a brawl.
Here's something else that's kind of interesting, right? They brought a Kronos, which I thought was fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm. They brought every flavor of the Megathron hull, pretty much. Just about.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like sitting there like, this is going to be hilarious because like looking at it, I was like, I actually think we're favored to win this with 2 battleships over their 3. Just because the double Magus, double Talia thing. I'm like, the Maulus Navy doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah, this match he embraced cruisers.
Yes.
Yeah, how about that, G?
And which match did you win?
Do you want to see and find out? I went in here, I forgot if we win, we get skins. I 100% didn't even think about that. I thought it was just, we're going to put on a show for every single viewer out there. Because our team, like one thing I really pride our team has done is there's only ever been one match in the last 2 ATs that has been stale to watch. You know, that's something I like. Like this is at the end of the day, yeah, your teams try to win prize ships, your team's trying to get this done, your teams try to win. But if you're giving 3,000 viewers something to remember and watch and enjoy, they're going to want to root for you because you have good matches, you know? So things like this was kind of funny. As the refs also told me my comp was illegal, by the way.
It was like, no, it's not. This is the rules.
No, it's not. Read the rules. Read the rules.
You're allowed to bring what you want in this phase.
Yeah, you can bring 5 cruisers if you want. It's totally legal.
Or in our case, 6.
6, yeah.
7.
Well,
7.
The exact doesn't count.
Oh, well, it's still a cruiser.
They're like, your comp's illegal, and I'm like...
But is it, though?
No, I just turned around and said, Galente Gambit rules, ? No hull restrictions, ? And they turned around and said, oh, yeah, you're good. And I'm like, dude, we beat Outbox last year, but we lost the match, but won the war because they didn't read the rules. Like, read the rules, guys. Are you doing this with comms? Or?
Yes, with comms, because we have to hear that
I
one
will
part.
give the Navy dummy, Helicon, a minus 50 DKP for running away from the brawl.
There's a reason. He's real fit.
Yeah, but still, it's a brawl.
Actually, you know what, Ghosty?
What's up?
I will say, like, just from a sake of it, I think the commentator perspective of this is also really fucking good. Seeing how quick we went through, you want to give him a taste of what the commentator's perspective was first?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the commentators also really deserve
I'll have
some
to pull
fucking
that up
credit
from
for
the
this shit.
I'm gonna have to pull that up from the VOD real fast. You guys want to see that? Fuck it. You guys don't get a choice. It's my stream.
Because I will say another thing, Gina, that they turned around and said. I was talking to J1tah and Local, and I asked, "Can I commentate this match while being in it? Like, can y'all throw that together last minute?" And Jin said, "Whatever you type in Local, I will say on stream." So, like, at one point, I was actually typing mid-match. Like I said, forgot skins even existed, by the way. And just was typing mid-match because content lulls.
Yeah, I think the ball of wrecks and drones at 0 was a sight to behold at the end of the match. It was beautiful.
I think,
I have to let the ad run.
I think that was the perfect way to go out, to be honest. Like, that was really good.
That's what was something else that was like I said, people were discussing, oh, let's run something else. I'm like, we already lost. Doesn't matter what we bring. Like, I think most people are going to enjoy blaster rushing bullshit than us trying to throw some weird theorycraft thing together. And like, don't forget the match turnover is only 10 minutes for this match and the one before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're out of the match, you have 10 minutes. Like, you have 5 to tell them you're ready and you get teleported.
Which is more what you're going to experience once you've made it out of the feeders, you know.
Yeah.
Once you're playing best of threes, that's what it's going to be. You're back to back to back to back.
I felt like this was you guys showing that you're going out with a smile. And I really respect that.
At this point, you know,
just show match.
It was over. It was over. You know, it was over. And the relief, you know, I will say this. I personally felt a lot of relief knowing that this match didn't matter, so I could just have fun.
You know, that was another thing. Like I said, the big point I made. Someone said, can we put together a drone comp? And I'm like, dude, listen, unless one of you want to take over and get it done in like 7 minutes,
bro,
that's on you. I'm like, I'm not theory crafted another fucking second.
Bro. Next time they do some sort of gambit, I want to do Helas. Just
next year's gambit is, well, they're not going to do a gambit. They change it every year.
Mm-hmm.
This will never happen again.
Helas would have worked here, right? They're Galente bonused. Just
yeah, but they're also over point valued. They're also stupid points.
They're also stupid powerful.
They are. I mean, but you bring 2, it's like, yeah, cool. Like a Deimos does. I could have brought 4 Deimoses.
I may have had a 10 cruiser comp, one of which being Logic Cruiser, obviously.
All right, I have to let it play here or we're going to get more ads.
Holy ads.
I bet you can tell I'm a cruiser pilot.
I am.
Me too.
At this point, like, I'm a battleship pilot for AT. Who knows what next year brings? But I'll fly whatever, I guess.
The honor we feel in this situation.
Honor is all that matters, right?
Yeah, and the dummy Navy ignores that rule and leaves the brawl instead of loading Javelin and being a Spartan.
No, he's the supervisor. He's supervising the brawl. He has to have a little bit of a bird's eye view.
No, you ram, you scram, you tear apart. Doesn't matter if you rails, just, you know, lack of confidence.
I think we chose the better primary. I think is what it came down to. I remember people wondering in the chat that they should have gone after you first, Chad, instead of going for Booney. Like, trade Vindy for Vindy. Screw propulsion. We don't need to move.
Listen, shooting me is always a good option, okay? There's never anything wrong with shooting me, right?
I'll be right back. The 2 frigates I don't care about. They said my name. They said my name. Am I, though? Am I? Spoons is still alive.
It's funny because they switch off to kill Spoons so that they can break you.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how they're like, they're just probably going to headshot this Kronos next. I'm like, you know what? Nah, I want to put webs on this small shit and watch them blow up quickly. Just do what Vindicators do, watch them like web, bop, web, bop. I was like, that's what I want to do.
Do what
Like,
they
it
do
had nothing
best,
to do with
assert
winning.
dominance.
No, I still didn't even know about skins for this match, dude. I was just trying to be like having fun. You know, this is like the match where it was like, go in there and just everyone play to celebrate, you know, a good run.
Ghosty down. Ghosty down. It was at this moment Chad finally had to move.
It was at this moment that Chad Flame moved for the first time in the game, by the way.
And here comes this poor comment. He's like, Nani? Sees the webs. Nani? Elikon and Chad versus the world.
Listen, if it was going to be any two pilots on our team, yeah, it's going to be me and Elikon.
He's giving you covering fire with the rails. Suppressing fire. Oh, this poor Kronos. And here comes Elikon like a wrecking ball. It's like, okay, guys, chill. It's like trying to break up a fight.
He actually bumped me for a reason because I was like, oh shit, wait, am I throwing away skins right now? Maybe I should pull a little range, like, so I can at least leave the fight if I wanted to. I was like, I might have committed a little too hard and got too in the spirit of blasters. And then he just started to break right when I said that. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Ninth says the Kronos pulling range was sus. Do you think there was a reason why he was pulling range like that?
I have no idea. I will say that I think it is interesting because like J1tah mentioned like the Dami insta pull ranges. I'm like, their Kronos pulled range later though. He left the brawl too. He broke the rules.
But he's a blaster ship, so he gets minus 250 DKP.
Oh god, the comms for this are just.
All right.
Ignore me being an idiot. We'll say that now. Time to crack one open and drown myself in holy shit. Gwen. Links.
Links.
Gwen?
Gwen?
Going. They're linked.
Jesus.
Don't scare.
Go.
Vindy!
Quick! Go!
Do I overheat my reps yet?
You're gonna go so fast, it won't make a difference.
Bunny's getting shot first.
Oh, Lord.
We should go for the Mega next.
That's gonna be tankier than the Kronos, isn't it?
I mean,
They're
what
the
else are we gonna
exact
shoot?
same.
Huh? What's up, Elkon?
Yeah, go for the Mega next.
Just
Elkon,
kill me
call one.
first.
What one?
Go for the Mega after the Kronos.
After the
Vindy.
Mega,
After the Vindy.
Kronos?
We should be on the
Somebody
Vindy.
shooting the Navy. Don't shoot the Navy.
Yeah, Utah.
Stop shooting two, guys. There's no reason we should be shooting two. Just split damage shit.
Overheat.
I'm about to die. There's me.
It's fine, we've only lost 2 A9s to kill a Vindy here, right?
Yeah.
This Vindy's chunking, boys. Don't burn your guns, by the way.
Don't burn your
Mega Navy
guns.
next.
I've got one of their Thalias nuded out. I'm working on the second.
Yes, just keep doing.
Go on, guys.
I had one
Oh,
job.
Jesus, guy's fucking
Shut
whole
off
tank.
their
No.
reps.
No.
Of course he is,
whole
because
thing.
that's how you
That's
do
not
it. That's glorious. Do we switch targets or we go for it?
Wait, no, he's not, is he?
He's not all tank.
He's not. He's armor.
Even if he was whole tank, he would have
Sound.
more. The Kronos would have better resistance.
I'm nuding their Logi. I'm nuding their Logi as hard as I
Overheat
can.
as long as you can.
Deadlock.
Just keep shooting this. Don't burn your guns, guys. Kronos next, top down. We're gonna train all our E&Is. I love it.
Their Logi is almost broken after this, if we want to go for that.
Deadlock Talia is half through armor.
That's fine. We'll go, I'll just headshot them with my Vindicators, like Vindicators do. We just need
They're
to kill
webbing
this
Quinn
Mega,
now.
guys.
Shit, I'm damped out.
Come on.
Yeah, their
don't overheat.
everybody's much smaller than your guys, but they have reps. So
Mega,
mute out the.
Mega, break this
Quinn,
Mega,
need
break
reps
this
maybe
Mega,
in
break
bit?
this Mega, break this
Kirk is
Mega.
about to go down.
I'm losing. They keep damping me.
Just
I'm
pull
trying
in
to get
hard.
I'm getting in close as I can, man.
Kirk down.
Just zero. Who gives a
I need.
fuck at this
Yeah,
point?
I need to turn off my AB. It keeps.
Elikon, I'm gonna headshot the Talias.
That's why Spoons got caught. He was getting damped and had to come back in.
Dead. And then just headshot them.
They're focusing me, Chad.
That's fine. We're killing
Oh,
Talias.
one of their
We're killing
Talias is
Talias. You
dead.
did your job. You did your job.
Elliot did.
The remaining is tackled. The
Get rid of
remaining
the
is tackled.
brawl. Just be
Yeah,
at 0 anyways. Shoot their battleship. I will fucking just nuke the rest.
Quinn has the other Talia.
I'm gonna lock down Yin and the Magus next after this Thalia.
Okay, just lock him down now. Lock him down now. Lock him down now.
Lock him down. Doing it now. Doing it now. Putting a web on him to start.
You're good. Yeah, you're good.
I numbered the Maguses.
Beautiful. Which Magus are you on? 1 or 2?
I'm on 2. I'm on 2. 2 is tackled. 2 is tackled.
Gotcha.
Shit, he got away. Never mind, he's not tackled.
Fine, go for 1. Just go.
I'm going for 1. Yeah, 1 is tackled. 1 is tackled.
Beautiful.
Other Talia down.
Dude, I'm just.
Actually, 2 is tackled. I got 2 again. 2 is. Ah, fuck. I am.
Quinn's back on 2. You're good. You're good. Just keep shooting 2. Just keep shooting 2. Jeez.
Quinn, if you could shoot the Maulus, by any chance.
Yeah, Quinn. Can you just put your drones on the Maulus?
I'm gonna finish off the Magus and then I'm gonna go to the Maulus.
Cronus is burning away from you guys.
That's fine. Honestly,
Magus of 1 is tackled. Magus of 1 is tackled.
Got him. Can you go for 4?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I had to burn. No, I'm actually tackled by the Maulus. I'm tackled by the Maulus of 5. Maulus of 5.
Your Magus
He's
is
gonna
down.
die. Do you want to see him? Want to see me one shot a fucking Maulus?
I'm in hull. I'm in hull. You may be losing me in a second.
That's fine. It'll be okay. Watch this.
The last cruiser
standing.
standing.
You did fucking work, by the way. Holy shit, Alec, I'm fucking nuking shit right now. I haven't moved
Wait,
the
you
whole
guys
match.
stack the targets? That's actually smart. I should do that.
I'm damped out. I can't help if anything.
You warp 0 pussies.
Navy Maulus is down.
I'm going for the comet.
Yeah, if you can kill the comet, I can actually move.
You have 5 minutes.
Just calmly. I'm going for the
You've
comet.
got 5 whole minutes. You can catch the
dive bombing
Kronos.
him. I'm dive bombing him. I have to move.
Fuck yeah, we got it with a bang.
They're all small drones on the regular Malas. Oh Jesus. Fucking hell.
Go Kronos. He's coming in. He's coming in. Go Kronos.
Yep, he's smart bombing. Hold him out, I guess. Oh, that Maulus came in to tap.
I had to take the moment to type in local chat during our match.
Oh, he's not in that far. Oh yeah. That Maulus is way off. Wrong angle. Holy crap.
Just how fast you're closing on that Kronos is
Okay,
scary.
you good? I guess you're ready to see
Yeah,
what
I'm good.
Kronos is doing.
Yeah, volume alert, guys.
I guess we go 0 on Kronos. I don't know.
Be warned, volume
I'm
alert.
not the captain of the opposing team, Jen.
Huh? Dude, I absolutely fucking wrecked their Logi, by the way. I got him! Get over here, loser! How dare you run away from me?
No one runs away from Chad.
Oh, he has a scram.
3 minutes.
There's a scram?
He has a scram.
Well, it's got 5 mids now, the Kronos. It's an amazing fucking boost it got.
I'm feeling it.
We're going to 100-0 this? Come on.
Yeah, to 0.
You guys,
We didn't
are you
lose
gonna
anything.
die?
He's not gonna die. Wait, he might. His answer.
Oh jeez.
No, about you. Are you gonna hold in the
No, I'm
Windy?
not gonna hold. I'm tackled, so I can't do anything.
He's starting a smart bomb.
I could fucking bail.
I mean,
I
if
think we're
you
gonna break him.
Alexander
no, you gotta
helping
break it,
you
just
to
stay on.
align the
See
other
this
way.
I'm staying on him for the fucking Twitch chat.
if you die, then we don't get the skins.
Oh,
He's
shit.
in man.
Castabouts.
I'm trying, man.
Just kill him.
I have barely any heat left.
Come on. Come on.
Come on.
Come
I have to
on.
physically stop heating. I'm trying to pull range from him so I could MJD.
We got this.
Yeah!
Yeah!
1v1 me at the sun!
All right.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm recording.
So wait, do I boundary now?
1v1 me at
He
the
boundary.
sun!
Do it.
100 points.
100 points.
Oh man.
Guys, we're only 20 points shy.
Well,
of
it
snuff.
wasn't that. It was
That's
we were
bullshit, man.
worried at the last second if
Bye-bye.
Chad died, Castabouts
183
had
kilometers.
enough
That's a-
points to be second place and gotten the skins. So we needed Chad to actually live if we wanted one more set of skins, I think. Yeah,
I think we got the skins for winning the match.
The worry wasn't that we wouldn't kill the Kronos, right? The 2v1 battleship. The worry is if I die, we can't kill the Kronos if we don't get the skins. So I'm like, shit, maybe I overcommitted here a little bit and like didn't actually think this through.
I mean, Galante ships do not know the word overcommit.
Approach F1.
Yes.
I thought it was funny when I'm just sitting there like, how dare you run away from me?
one more time.
Stop eating. Oh god. Range from him so I could MJD.
We got this.
1v1 me at the sun!
I'm putting that on Reddit. Hey, Art Gravy. Yes, I do need that. I struggled trying to figure out how to mess about with this. Oh, lordy, guys. Well,
The view, that plus the view of the explosion was pretty freaking funny, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, the view you had right there, that last one, where I'm saying that and the ship just explodes. That's freaking funny as shit.
that CCP right there. That. Like, that's why I went with the CCP view, because after I died, I kind of just sat there for a minute. I did actually zoom in, but they had a better angle, so.
Dude, their cameramen do some work, by the way. Like, honestly.
Well, that's
How
all.
many sets of skins did you guys win?
3 sets.
We won 30 skins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so same as us.
Yeah, and it works out nice because we have a ridiculously small team.
That means I got some
nice.
guys. I'm going to be putting. I get 2, right?
Yeah, as of now, yes.
All right. I'm debating whether or not to keep one for myself. I'm strongly inclined to keep one
You
for
better
myself.
damn keep
Yes.
one for yourself.
But one
better
is
do.
definitely going to be going into the dank can, guys. So that will be one of the prizes in the future. It is a single item that unlocks an entire set of skins. So, and you can only get it by having competed in this particular, like these skins will never be out again, right?
Nope, it's this particular alliance tournament.
Exactly.
And you can only get them by winning matches in the tournament or the feeders. So
Or
teams in a
blind.
row 2 don't even get them. Big sad.
All right.
Imagine not getting a skin.
I'm going to get my clients fired up here. We're going to take a short break, like a 10-minute break. But when I get back, we're rolling off for a large skill injector for everybody who sat here and watched this all. So what's up, babe? 1 second.
If you're looking for an AT team, DM me. Like, quite
Yes,
literally.
we are recruiting. We're hoping to build our roster out. We're already planning for the next one. You know, Ghosty. will-
Here's another thing to put out there.
Mhm.
Ghosty said it a few times. I will give a little history for anyone who doesn't know. I joined Ghosty's Twitch day 1. Was watching, and he was just getting back into Eve. Was telling him like about myself. He grabbed interest in this kind of stuff. I showed him the ropes. You don't have to be a GOAT Eve player to learn how to do this shit. You just have to commit to wanting to learn. That is it.
And it really does, because one of the key things about PvP is ship knowledge and knowing what your opponent's going to be able to do to you if you take that fight. This is a good format to learn that. because you're going to be going up against every flavor under the sun. You're going to get jammed, you're going to get damped, you're going to get disrupted, you're going to get scrambled, you're going to get webbed, you're going to get picked off from range. You're going to get nuded a lot. A fucking lot.
You're gonna, you know, be put in situations where you're flying stuff that's out of your comfort zone. And like I said earlier, you know, there's ships that you don't fly in the game, because either you don't have the skills yet to unlock them, and you're flying on a server that has ultimate skills in Thunderdome, per se. And you get to learn ships that you think are really cool and and maybe a different style than you're used to, you know. And I think, as well, just working with people, like a lot of the people I work with don't have tournament experience. Like the team that we built last year only had 2 people that had any sort of tournament experience at all, and it wasn't major. You know, this year a lot of the people are only 1-2 year veterans, or brand new even. You know, I like working with these people in the sense that you're building from the bottom and working with people, teaching them habits that are good, trying to, you know, be something that is going to make you way better. Like talking to every single one of these people ever since we started doing this, every single one's like, our gameplay individually has grown to a level that no one thought was possible. So if it's something you think about, as long as you're willing to put the time in to commit, because don't forget, teams practice weekly against other teams. As long as you're willing to put the time in to commit, listen to the experienced players, and just, you know, put your head down and work a little bit, oh my goodness, the difference it makes is... And you also make new friends and good connections in the game. Yeah, that's always good too.
I highly recommend it. And there's several good, like, bigger corps, like Karma Fleet or Goon Swarm. Brave has a team now. If you guys join Brave, Horde has a team. Like, any of the major groups is going to have a team that you can join. Where's a good place to go for recruitment? Like, if you're looking for a team, would it be the Eve Discord? I know they've got a channel.
Yeah, the official Discord.
Their Eve Discord has recruitment. If you're looking to just go full out as a mercenary and try out with different teams. Now, right now, obviously, it's harder because, you know, most teams are already going to have their teams picked going forward. So, like, this year might not be a thing. But if it's something you set your mind to of, like, hey, I just want to individually get better with Eve, start talking to people, start studying AT stuff, pull up some YouTube videos, have some fun with it, you know, understand it a little bit more. And then go in and be like, there's a in the Eve Discord a tournament section where it says looking for team, I think it is. Just type in there what your skill points are. Most teams want to know your experience, your skill points, and what kind of ship you want to fly. That's it. And I will say some teams probably won't pick people up who have, you know, lower SP, because it does matter come the actual tournament.
Yeah.
But I will say, if you got, you know, 30 million skill points invested entirely into 2 ships, you know, and you're good with those 2 ships.
Even if you're not a starter, they could use you on Thunderdome where you've got all the skills unlocked, you know, especially if they've got it. If you being in the team gives them enough people to do internal scrimmages, that's even better.
Another thing too, like from my perspective, you don't need to be that 300 million skill point character. Our team only consists of 3 people that have that kind of skill point level. You know,
I think you guys are forgetting the most important thing.
Fun.
Well, yeah, but you're
Friendship?
ruined it. No, friendship is shit. Championship is a lot
Friendship
better.
is the best ship.
No, it isn't.
Championship is. Anyway,
Haven't
like, tournament flying is like the most fun you can do with your pants off.
You know, here's another thing too. I will put out there for tournament flying. I think most people can agree to this. It is not the same as playing regular Eve.
Yeah,
Eve, you know, Eve can get stale. Just like tournament play can also get stale. Like a lot of these players play a tournament and they need time off. Putting it out there, I probably won't be getting many kills for the next 2-3 weeks on the regular server because fuck that shit. I don't want to play the game right now. Just not even because of you know, not even because of how we did, but just because tournaments, especially captains, take a lot out of you.
There's
you know,
lot
but it's something. It's a
of
different
hours.
game. It's a different game. You know.
God, can you remember? Okay, now that we all have permanent Thunderdome access, it's a bit easier, but having to do it on Sissy, where you would have to physically get the ships, move them to wherever we were going, that was what you did. Nobody else was logging on to help you with that
I'll
shit.
give everyone a Jitty, you're gonna love this shit. Weekend one of our scrimmages, right? We started a little earlier than some teams. Like the second they put the official announcements out and said they're gonna be giving Thunderdome access out, I was like, hey, does anyone want to scrim this weekend? And one of the teams said yes. And not all their team members got Thunderdome access quick.
Mm-hmm.
So we were sitting on Thunderdome in the system we told them to meet us in, waiting, and they never showed up. So I messaged them, like, hey, you guys coming? Like, scrims are supposed to start 5 minutes ago. They're like, we're in the system. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm like, we're there. We were a little weird why you chose it because the move me was wrong. And I'm like, wait a second, the move me was wrong? Are you guys on Singularity? And they said, yeah, what do you mean? Had to hop over to Singularity, make an arena in the system because they didn't know how to. Or not that they didn't know how to, but I said I was going to do that, so I just did it anyway. And throw all the ships together on CC. That was a headache and a half. And then you got your whole team saying, just cancel scrims, just cancel scrims. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, we just finished the recap. We're going to be going to our normally scheduled solo small gang PvP. Chad, are you going to be taking a break after this, or what are you doing? You want to roam